digital broadcast at hindi po black time, Your Honor.
Okay. Salamat po sa sagot ninyo. Tama po, kailangan pag-aralan po muna ninyo yan. No? Dahil kahit kayo po ay hindi malinaw sa inyo ang usapin na ito. Kaya po ako'y nagtaka kanina at sinabi ninyo na you will immediately issue a cease and alias cease and desist order.
Hearing resumed.
Hearing resumed. The committee secretary is hereby directed to execute the oath of our new invited guest.
May we ask the new resource person from the labor sector and the representatives for the ABS-CBN and all invited in the Zoom meeting. Please raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth before this joint congressional inquiry? So help you God. Thank you.
Maraming salamat po, Comsec. Chairman Chikoy.
Thank you, Chair Jonathan. Dadako na po tayo sa ABS-CBN para sa kanilang presentation, Chair Jonathan. ABS-CBN, you have the floor now para po sa inyong presentation and your position.
Good evening, Mr. Chair. May I? Honorable Co-Chairs Franz Alvarez and Jose Antonio C. Alvarado, Honorable Speaker Alan Peter Cayetano, Honorable Majority Floor Leader Martin Romualdez, Honorable members of this committee and of the House here present and on Zoom, good evening. There are three messages I want to convey in my opening statement. Ang una po, ang ABS-CBN ay fully compliant sa labor laws.
Excuse me po, sir. Pwede po bang magpakilala po kayo upang ma-record po natin ang pangalan ninyo
Ako po
sa harapan po nitong committee ito?
Ako po si Mark Nepomuceno. I'm the head of transformation now for ABS-CBN.
Pakituloy po ang inyong presentation.
Okay. Ang una po, ang ABS-CBN ay fully compliant sa labor laws. Noong pong July hanggang September 2018, ang Department of Labor and Employment ay nagsagawa ng routine inspection ng ABS-CBN. Ang sinuri ng inspeksyon ay ang General Labor Standards, Occupational Health and Safety Standards at ang Security of Tenure. Bilang parte ng inspeksyon, humingi ang DOLE ng karagdagang documentary evidence na nagpapatunay ang ABS ay sumusunod sa General Labor at OSH standards sa ilang probinsya at head office. Matapos may sumite ng kumpanya ang katibayang ito, inilabas ang final order ng inspeksyon noong January 28, 2020 na nagsasaad na being fully compliant with the directives of this office, ABS-CBN, maliban sa ibang nabanggit, are hereby dropped as respondents na nangangahulugan ang ABS-CBN ay fully compliant sa General Labor Standards, Occupational Health and Safety Standards, at Security of Tenure dahil hindi siya nakitaan ng anumang violation. Ang pagiging fully compliant ng ABS-CBN ay bunga ng patuloy na pagsikap ng kumpanya na kumilos ayon sa kung ano ang kanyang pinaniniwalaan ay tama sa ilalim ng batas. Kaakibat nito, sa mga pagkakataon may mga kasong humantong sa korte, tutuparin lagi ng ABS-CBN ang pinal na desisyon ng korte. Number 2 po, ang halos lahat ng 17 kumpanya sa ABS-CBN Group ay apektado kapag nawalan ng franchise ang ABS-CBN. Ang ABS Group of Companies ay isang total news and entertainment group na binubuo ng 17 kumpanya. Sa gitna nito ay ang ABS-CBN Corporation na nagbibigay ng financial, operational o content support sa grupo. Pag nawalan ng prangkisa ang ABS-CBN, ang kakayanan nitong suportahan ng grupo ay matinding mapapahina. Halimbawa, hindi na makakayanan ng ABS-CBN ang kanyang patuloy na donasyon sa ABS-CBN Foundation. Ang bantay bata na lumiligtas sa libo-libong batang nasa panganib at ang sagip kapamilya na tumutulong sa libo-libong Pilipinong inaabot ng pinsala tulad ng baha, bagyo o giyera ay maaaring mawala. Kapag nawala ang prangkisa, ang ABS-CBN ay magbabawas ng produksyon ng programa. Ito rin ang mga programang pinapalabas sa The Filipino Channel na pinapanood ng ating mga overseas Filipinos. Hindi mapupunuan ng ABS-CBN Global ang kakulangan ng programa at ang malamang na epekto nito ay malaki ang kabawasan sa subscribers niya. Ang operasyon ng Foundation at Global ay mapapaliit at malilimitahan ang kanilang pagbigay serbisyo. Hindi magtatagal na malamang sila ay mapipilitang magbawas ng mga manggagawa din. Ang pagkawala ng franchise ng ABS-CBN Corporation ay siguradong hahantong sa kawalan ng trabaho ng mga manggagawa nito. Sila ang agad-agad na maapektuhan. Ngunit dahil sa financial, operations at content support na natatanggap ng 16 na kumpanya mula sa ABS-CBN Corporation, ang operasyon ng karamihan sa kanila ay matindi rin mapipinsala at sa kalaunan, hindi nila maiiwasang magtanggal din ng mga manggagawa. Batay sa BIR Reports 1604CF at 1604E, mahigit sa 20,000 manggagawa at supplier ang binayaran ng ABS-CBN Group sa buong taon ng 2019. Ito ang bilang ng trabahong nililikha ng grupo bawat taon. Ngunit kung ang titignan ay kung ilan ang manggagawang nagtrabaho sa ABS-CBN Group sa buwan lamang ng Disyembre 2019 o ilan ang kakailanganin ng ABS-CBN sa kanyang operasyon buwan-buwan, ito ay nasa 11,000 tao. At ang karamihan sa kanila ay ang siyang maapektuhan ng pagkawala ng ABS-CBN franchise. Alinsunod sa hiningi ng Committee on Legislative Franchises, isinumite ng ABS-CBN ang listahan ng 11,000 manggagawa. Ito ay napapaloob din sa SSS, Pag-ibig, PhilHealth at BIR reports na isinumite din sa committee. Panghuli po, ang ABS-CBN ay isang good employer. Patuloy na kinikilala ang ABS-CBN bilang isang good employer. Ito ay makikita sa mga awards o pagkilalang kanyang natanggap sa mga nakaraang taon. Kabilang sa mga awards ng ABS-CBN ay ang Asia's Best Employer, Top 10 Companies to Work For, Best Companies to Work For in Asia, Philippines Best Employer Brand, at Most Distinguished Employer of the Year. Mahalaga din banggitin ang award na Valuable Partner in Education at ang Outstanding Corporate Governance Award bilang katangi-tanging media network na kinilala ng may outstanding corporate governance sa hanay ng mga publicly listed companies sa Philippines. Bilang pagtapos po, ulitin ko lang po, ang ABS-CBN ay fully compliant sa General Labor Standards, Occupational Health and Safety Standards, at Security of Tenure. Ang ABS-CBN ay isang total news and entertainment or group at hindi lamang ang ABS Corporation, kundi marami sa kasaping kumpanya ng grupo ay maapektuhan ng pagkawala ng franchise. Ang ABS-CBN ay patuloy sa pagiging isang good employer. Maraming salamat po.
Maraming salamat, Attorney Nepomuceno. At kasama po naman natin ngayon ang mga kinatawan ng mga nagrereklamong empleyado ng ABS-CBN na di umano'y tinanggal sa trabaho. Atin pong pakinggan ang sasabihin nila. Una po muna nating tatawagin si Jornally Payonan, isa sa mga dating empleyado ng ABS-CBN. Jornally, maaari ka na pong magpahayag.
Greetings of peace and goodwill to all our honorable congressmen and guests. I am Jornally Payonan, a previous employee of ABS-CBN Corporation. I am here being the representative of the cameraman, audioman, lightman, drivers, genset operators who were dismissed by the ABS-CBN on different dates, sometimes in the year 2009-2010. We were directly hired by the ABS-CBN from the very start of our employment. Several years prior to our filing of case regularization between the years 2002 and 2004, it was also during that time that the ABS-CBN mandated us to transfer in their in-house manpower agency named Internal Job Market or IJM. We had no choice at the time except to follow the mandate of our superior because we cannot receive our salaries and benefits unless we are abide of the mandate to join the IJM as talent employees. While we are under the IJM ABS-CBN work pool of talent employees, we continued to perform our regular job assignments in the taping, shootings of different programs either produced or co-produced by the ABS-CBN. We perform our jobs along with the regular employees of ABS-CBN, but we remained as talent employees. We were also directly supervised by a supervisor, employee of ABS-CBN. We have to abide the company rules and regulation, and any infraction committed thereof will be subjected to disciplinary action. As talent employees, we did not enjoy the benefits regularly received by the regular employees, like the yearly increase in the salaries, signing bonuses under the Collective Bargaining Agreement or CBA, and other monetary and non-monetary benefits as contained in the CBA between the regular rank-and-file employees and the ABS-CBN Corporation. We were left behind in the terms of salaries, bonuses, and other benefits. We have no personal insurance in the performance of our job, but our equipment, camera lights, and the like under or care were covered by the insurance. Equipment were given higher regard than the life of the talent employees. We, the talent employees, at the time had realized that we had been abused and discriminated for a long period of time because we were performing jobs of the same nature that the jobs performed by the regular employees. Yet, we were not considered regular employees and greatly deprived of the benefits enjoyed by the regular employees. As talent employees, we collectively resolved to form an independent workers' organization, a workers' union of talent employees of ABS-CBN under the IJM. And we did carry out the resolution. We registered our workers' union and filed certification of election for us to be recognized by the ABS-CBN for the purpose of collectively negotiate like the regular employees. However, the formation of the Talent Employees Union did not sit well with ABS-CBN. All the active members were dismissed. There was mass dismissal of talent employees made sometime in the period between 2009 and 2010. The dismissal involved more than 100 talent employees. We have filed illegal dismissal cases in different batches and groups immediately after our dismissal between 2009 and 2010. Some of our colleagues who were not able to file an earlier regularization case had filed a case for regularization and illegal dismissal. Most of the cases were now pending in the Supreme Court. In our batch known as Payonan case, we have already won our regularization case with Court of Appeals, but the ABS-CBN filed a petition for review, which is now pending with the Supreme Court. Several cases of the same nature involving ABS-CBN were consolidated. However, another batch of talent employees had already won their case before the Supreme Court declaring them as regular employees of the ABS-CBN who were illegally dismissed from employment. Said decision of the Supreme Court had in fact already attained finality. That is the case of Farley Fulache, GR number 183810 versus ABS-CBN Corporation. Marlene Nazareno et al., GR number 164156 versus ABS-CBN Corporation. Noel Macatuno, GR number 237836. The group of Noel Macatuno is now enforcing the final and executory decision of the Supreme Court, and yet the ABS-CBN unceasingly opposed the issuance of the writ of execution. In this hearing of the House Representatives, we would like to manifest our concerns, not only with the ABS-CBN, but in all other networks to look into the practice of creating another type of employment status, that is, talent or program employees instead of regular status of employment, which we see no basis in Labor Code of the Philippines. It is also high time that we respectfully request from the House of Representatives to look into the violations of the rights of the workers to form unions or organizations. We, the dismissed employees of ABS-CBN, had a first-hand experience on how difficult it is to form a union. Exercising our right to form a workers' union was confronted by our employer with the retaliation of mass dismissal. There shall be a law fortifying the right of the employees to security of tenure. Thank you po. For the dismissed employees of ABS-CBN, naway gabayan po tayo lahat ng Diyos para sa tama.
Maraming salamat, Mr. Jornally Payonan, at bukas po ang tainga ng kongresong ito upang makinig sa inyo, at hindi lang po kayo, sa lahat po ng ating mga kababayan na tinatawag na talent o mga hindi pa regular employees, ay bukas po ang pandinig ng kongresong ito. At marami po sa ating mga kasamahan ay may mga bills na isinusulong para po sa kabutihan ng ating mga empleyado. Ang susunod po nating kikilalanin ay si Mr. Christopher Mendoza, isa rin sa mga natanggal na empleyado ng ABS-CBN. Mr. Mendoza, you're now recognized. Maaari mo na pong sabihin ang iyong salaysay.
Magandang gabi po sa inyong lahat, lalong-lalo na po sa mga congressman, mga opisyalis ng ABS-CBN, at sa mga manggagawa. Ako po si Christopher Mendoza, audioman sa ABS-CBN noong 1995 until 2010. 2010, ang hindi ko makakalimutan po na nangyari sa aking buhay ay yan ang taon na siguro parang nandun ako sa shoot sa Mega Mall premiere night ng movie ni Robin nung tawagan ako ng kasamahan ko sa ABS. Sabi niya, Papa Sam, balik ka dito sa ABS, sa studio. Sabi ko, bakit? Akit ka dito sa ELJ. May ultimatum si Sir Gabi. Sabi ko, ganun ba? Sabi ko, sige, nagpaalam ako sa production people na kasama ko sa shooting ng premiere night ni Robin. Nagpatid ako sa ABS. Pagdating ko doon, may sumalubong sa akin doon sa ELJ. Paakyat doon sa taas, at inabot ako pa nagsasalita si Sir Gabi with Ma'am Charo Santos na yung ultimatum na pagka hindi kami pumirma, yung araw na yon sa buong magdamag na pagpapapirma nila, hindi namin winave yung kasong ipinail namin, wala na kaming trabaho kinabukasan. Kaya po, inabot kami ako po, masasabi ko ako ang kauna-unahang lobas ng ABS-CBN noong June 2010. Kasi po, magdamag po kami nagbantay, pinapipirma nila yung mga kasama namin doon sa building. Ako naman po, at saka itong mga kasamahan ko, nagbabantay ron. Kumbaga, pinapaliwanag namin sa kanila kasi before, kampi sa amin yung mga kasama namin sa loob. Siguro, pagka pumasok sa kwarto, nasilaw na sila doon sa mga inoffer ng HR o kung sino man yung nasa loob ng kwarto sa ELJ. Tapos may nagsabi sa akin na isang kasamahan ko, nasa Zoom yata si paring Elmer Evaristo, sabi niya, pre nagpirmahan na sila. Tapos may lumapit sa akin isang audio man na kasamahan ko. Sabi niya, Papa Sam, pasensya na, pumirma ako eh. Sige, okay lang. Nung sabihin sa akin ganun yun, siguro mag-aalas 6 na po ng umaga, hindi ko na namalaya na nandoon na pala ako sa baba ng building, wala na ako sa ELJ. Parang bumagsak po yung yung buong pagkatao, parang kasi po, inakala namin nila paring journally, na sa engineering ay solid kami. Solid po kami noong time, siguro, ilang taon namin nilaban yun, pati yung pag-union po doon sa ABS-CBN kasi hindi nga po kami miyembro ng union. Kami yung pinakamalaking grupo ng engineering sa loob ng ABS-CBN. Pero wala kaming union, so wala kaming natatanggap na mga regular employee. So sa makatuwid, hindi kami regular employee po sa ABS-CBN since 1995. Hindi po kompleto yung benepisyong natatanggap namin. Nakompleto lang, nadagdagan lang yung benepisyo namin nung nag-file na kami ng case. Noong 2002, nadagdagan na yung benepisyo namin. Siguro po, kung hindi kami nag-file ng case, baka yung tinatamasa ng mga nasa loob na IJM ngayon, na mga kasama namin, baka hindi pa nila tinatamasa ngayon. So noong pong June 2010 na yun, nung nagpirma na yung mga kasamahan ko, marami nang malungkot, kanya-kanyang kuha na ng gamit. Ako, hindi ko na po hinintay na ilabas ako ng guard kasi pagka po hindi kayo pumirma, kinabukasan, automatic wala na po kayo sa ABS at ilalabas na kayo mismo ng guard sa compound. Kinuha ko na po yung gamit ko sa locker. Alas 7 ng umaga, tinignan ko sarili ko po. Ako yung kauna-unahan lumabas doon. Kasunod ko si paring Elmer Ibaristo. Dahil magkapit-bahay lang naman po kami sa Caloocan yan, kaya sabay na kami. So, yun po. So, kaya nandito po ako, kaya umatin ako. Actually, dapat wala na po ako dito kasi nawala naman na yung galit ko sa ABS eh. Kasi, kumbaga, napatawad ko na sila kung ano po yung nagawa nila sa amin, sa akin. Siguro nandito po ako para lang isang buhay na patunay na may nilabag po ang ABS-CBN pagdating sa labor. Bakit ko po nasabing buhay na patunay? Yung kasamahan ko, namatay sa abroad, si Alan Herrera, kasama namin sa kaso. Siguro po kung hindi nila kami tinanggal, baka buhay pa po si Alan Herrera. Kasi po, nagme-maintenance na po yun. Nag-abroad, hindi na nabantayan yung paggagamot niya, hindi na paalalahanan ng asawa, inatake po sa abroad. 2 kasamahan na po namin ang namatay, 2 sa kaso. So, sana po, ang pakiusap ko lang po sa ating mga mambabatas na gumawa ng batas sa ABS-CBN, kasi mas lalo na po sa mga mambabatas, alam naman po natin na tapos na po yung renewal eh. Kaya nga po binasura na ng Supreme Court. So bagong prangkisa na po ang ina-apply po. Tama po ba ang pinag-uusapan dito? Tama po ba? Bagong prangkisa na po. So
Bagong prangkisa na po ang ina-apply ng ABS-CBN, pero bago po kasi maibasura yung bago mag-lapse yung prangkisa ng ABS-CBN, nagkaroon na po ng paunang hearing para sa renewal.
Apo.
Kaya po nakasama pa rin yung sa renewal ng ABS-CBN. Bagamat ang pinag-uusapan na po talaga natin ay bagong 25-year application ng prangkisa ng ABS. Bago na po.
Okay po. Okay, nilinaw ko lang po kasi po, pagka panibagong prangkisa po yan, pagka bagong aplikante ka, hindi ka mabibigyan eh. Hindi ka marirenew, o sabihin natin renew, Pero hindi ka mabibigyan kung may issue ka, di ba? Tama po ba ako? Tama po ba? Parang kumukuha ka ng NBI or ano, hindi ka mabibigyan kung may issue ka. Kung may kapangalan ka nga lang sa NBI, hindi ka na mabibigyan ng ano eh. So siguro, para po sa atin lahat, o sa ABS po, mas lalo kay Sir Gabi, kasi akala ko before, mamimit ko siya dito dahil doon sa video na nilabas niya noong 2010 na sinabi niya doon sa video na yung sinasabi raw ng isang tao doon, ako yung tinutukoy niya eh, na hindi raw totoong, kasi sinabi ko po sa mga kasama ko, hindi alam ni Sir Gabi yan, hindi alam ni Ma'am Charo. So sa press ko na ginawa niya, sinabi niya yun na huwag maniwala na hindi raw. So sana po, Sir Gabi, nagkapatawaran na po, panahon ng pandemya, siguro ito pong pandemya na nangyari sa atin o sa buong mundo, calling na po ito eh. Kay mayaman, mahirap eh. Kay may pera o wala. Ang sa akin po, ang gusto ko lang paalam sa inyo, gusto ko iparating sa inyo, sana po, kung ano po yung nasa batas, ayun po ang manaig, wag pera po. Pero wala po yan eh. Hindi po natin madadala sa taas yan eh. Itong pandemya na nangyari ngayon, hanggang ngayon, wala pa po. Sa buong mundo, baliwala yung pera eh. Mayaman. Mahirap, parehas sila nakakulong sa bahay eh. Yung may mga gandang sasakyan, hindi makalabas din eh. Hindi rin sila makapag-outing. Parehas sila ng mahirap. So, baliwala po yung pera. So, kaya ibig sabihin, itong nangyari po na to sa atin, sa ating lahat, calling na po ito eh. So, sana po, mag-isip na po tayo ng tama para sa atin, para sa bayan po, para sa mga maliit na manggagawa o sa lahat ng ano. ABS, napatawad ko na yan. Sana napatawad na rin nila kami. Nung tanggalin niyo po kami, si Ma'am Cory, yan, ano ko yan, sana po, wag na po nating hintayin kung pwede naman po sanang ayusin lahat, mas lalo yung mga kasama namin na naiwan sa loob, yung mga, may tsuhin pa po ako doon, may pinsan ako sa loob ng ABS-CBN, ng cameraman. Sana po ayusin na natin. Yung sistema sa ABS, pagka nabigyan po kayo ng panibagong prangkisa, linisin na po natin ang pangalan niyo po. Kawawa po yung mga empleyado. Inuulit ko po, ako po, not to shutdown kami ng grupo ko. Pero kailangan po namin, ang hinihiling po namin ni hustisya sa pagkakatanggal sa amin noong 2010. Kaya nga po, gumawa ako ng isang placard doon sa, na ipinost namin sa Facebook, ABS-CBN Massacre. Ako po ang gumawa nun. Ayun po yung mga ginamit namin doon habang nagpipikit po kami. Panahon po ni Pino yun, kaupo pa lang ng Pangulong Noynoy nun. Wala rin siya nagawa. Pinuntahan pa namin siya sa bahay niya. Sabi niya, sabi ko pa nga sa kanya, ituro kay Sir Gabi Lopez yung tuwid na landas kasi yun ang ano ni Pinoy dati. Kaso wala, hindi rin kami pinalapit doon sa bahay. Hanggang sa, ayun, nung natanggal naman po kami, kumbaga, hindi kami pinabayaan ng Diyos eh. Kasi parang napaganda pa eh. Tinanggap kami nung Kapatid Network, Kapamilya, Kapatid Network, yung TV5 po. Ilan sa amin hanggang ngayon nasa TV5 pa po. After po nung TV5 ko, blessing na naman, nakuha naman po ako sa Qatar. Kaya patuloy, kaya yung sinasabi ng mga kasamahan ko sa ABS na sinisigaw nila sa social media, pagka nawala ang ABS sa ere, mamamatay sila sa gutom o kung ano-anong mga ano. Kami nga, biglaan tinanggal eh. 2010, biglaan tinanggal, wala pang isang araw. Mag-aalas 5 po ako ng hapon dumating sa ABS, galing ng Mega Mall. Alas 7 ng umaga, so wala pang 24 oras. Tapos sasabihin nila, mamamatay sila sa gutom. Last year pa lang, paalala ko lang po, last year pa lang po nabanggit na ni Pangulong Duterte na pwede kayong masara. Kumbaga, dapat napaghandaan nila yun Kami nga, hindi Bigla-bigla kaming tinanggal walang sabi-sabi. Kaya sana po, ayun lang po, pakiusap ko na lang po sa mga mambabatas. Inuulit ko po, not to shut down kami ng grupo ko. Kami mga IJM. Nasa korte na po yung kaso namin. At nandito yung ilang patunay na nanalo ang IJM. Nandito po. Not to shut down po kami. Maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat. Pagpalain po tayo ng pong may kapal. Magandang gabi po.
Maraming salamat sa nakakabagbag damdamin na salaysay ni Mr. Christopher Mendoza, ang taong nagsalaysay na pagkatapos ng unos ay meron ulit na susunod na bukas.
Apo.
Chairman Chikoy?
Yes, Chair Jonathan, sa dakong ito, pwede natin puntahan na yung mga listahan na magtatanong. Una po sa magtatanong ay si Congresswoman Sol Aragones, na binigyan ng additional na oras po ni Kong Rufus, ni Congresswoman Rosas at Congresswoman Vilma Santos. Kong Sol?
Excuse me, Chairman Chikoy, nais pang magbigay ng posisyon ng DOLE. Pwede ba natin marinig?
Sorry, nalaktawan ko. Yung DOLE pa lang, may presentation pa. Ready na po yung DOLE. Sino po sa DOLE yung magsasalita? Magpe-present?
Yusek Ana Diones, you're now recognized.
Ayan.
Yes.
Yusek Ana, please proceed po.
Yes po. Honorable Chairpersons, Congressman Franz Alvarez and Congressman Jose Antonio C. Alvarado, members of the Committee on Legislative Franchises on Good Government and Public Accountability. Your Honors, magandang gabi po. On behalf of the Secretary of Labor and Employment, Secretary Silvestre Bello III, maraming salamat po for allowing us to make a presentation on labor matters pertaining to ABS-CBN cases filed and attended to by the Department of Labor and Employment and its attached agencies. Tama po yung naisabi kanina, on July 5, 2018 to September 27, 2018, a routine inspection was conducted at the premises of ABS-CBN Corporation. At nung panahon na yun, ABS-CBN Corporation provided the following information with respect to its number of employees. Ang total po ay 4,526 at on the screen, nandyan po yung breakdown. Regular workers po ay 2,481, regular seasonal workers 1,892, probationary workers 95, project-based workers 49, casual workers 3 po, consultant 6. At kung i-breakdown po natin sa position, managerial 746, supervising 81, at ang rank and file ay 3699. At nakita din po namin ng ABS-CBN engaged the services of 35 contractors, manpower providers, employing total number of 2,366 workers. Yung pong notice of routine inspection shows violations and findings in the area of labor standards and occupational safety and health. And as a matter of procedure, meron pong mga series of mandatory conferences were conducted for the purpose of the parties submitting proof of compliance or submitting employment records to disprove noted violations and findings during the inspection. Submitted employment records in our position papers were then appreciated and evaluated. And on October 30, 2019, an order of compliance was issued for ABS-CBN Corporation to comply with the remaining findings as shown on the screen. Sa labor standards, yan po yung naiwan nung hindi pa po sinasubmit ng ABS-CBN at that time. And then sa occupational safety and health standards, nandyan po yung mga dapat nilang isubmit. Your Honor, noon pong January 28, 2020, after finding or being fully compliant with the directives of the department, a second order was issued, dated January 28, 2020, dropping ABS-CBN as respondent in the matter of inspection conducted in its premises. Pag tignan po natin yung ibang kaso with respect to other labor cases, ang record po ng database from the Bureau of Labor Relations shows that on November 23, 2010, ABS-CBN IJN Workers Union filed a petition for certification election to represent the internal job market employees of ABS-CBN. ABS-CBN opposed the petition, the Med-Arbiter denied the petition, and on appeal, the Secretary of Labor and Employment resolved in favor of the workers. Then the Secretary of Labor and Employment was reversed by the Court of Appeals, and the case was brought up to the Supreme Court last July 12, 2012. At tama po din yung sinabi, this certification election case is pending with the Supreme Court. Yung pangalawa po, on April 21, 2010, ABS-CBN filed a petition for cancellation of union registration of ABS-CBN IJN Workers Union. The Dole NCR denied the petition for cancellation. On appeal, the BLR Director and Court of Appeals affirmed the order of Dole NCR. The Second Division po of the Supreme Court denied the petition for review on certiorari filed by ABS-CBN assailing the decision of the Court of Appeals. So that on August 9, 2017, yung resolution po ng Supreme Court became final and executory. Pagtignan po natin yung database available from the National Conciliation Mediation Board covering years 1989 hanggang ngayon, there were 5 notices of strike filed by the ABS-CBN unions. First was in October 1989, then on April 1991, then on December 2000, then on May 2002, at ang pinakahuli po ay noong September 2005. Doon sa 4 na notices of strike, of the 5, 4 pong notices of strike were settled at ang isa po ay withdrawn by the filer. Also, recorded were 4 preventive mediation cases filed by the ABS-CBN Union. The first was filed in March 1996, then on November 1996, then on March 12, 2000, at ang huli po ay on September 2005. Of the 3, of the 4, 3 po ang settled and isa po ay withdrawn. Pagtingnan po din natin yung binigay ng National Labor Relations Commission, doon sa available database nila, for the period 2007 to present, there were 109 individual cases of alleged illegal dismissal and nanny claims filed before the NLRC. At 108 po na mga kaso yun ay na-resolve na po at isa po ang pending. Paano po na-resolve itong mga kaso ito? 74% was decided on the merits, 22 through settlement, at 4 po ay through other orders. At 60% were decided in favor of the workers and 40% were decided in favor of management. So, Honorable Chair, members of the committee, Your Honors, recognizing during the roll call po kanina, joining me is the head of our attached agencies, yung Employees Compensation Commission, Executive Director Estela Sipagan Banawis, at andyan din po si Attorney Perdy Perez, the Chief of the Research, Information and Publication Division of the National Labor Relations, representing po yung ating NLRC Chair, Gerardo C. Nograles. Why did I mention that? Because sila po, if you have questions pertaining to their exclusive jurisdictions, we'll request them to answer. So with that, Your Honors, maraming salamat po.
Maraming salamat po, ma'am. Ngayon, pwede na po natin tayong dumako sa ating interpellation. Mahuna po si Congresswoman Sol Aragones. Congresswoman Aragones.
Maraming salamat, Chairman. Ang una ko pong katanungan ay gusto kong idirekta kay Mr. Mark Nepomuceno bilang dating head po ng HR. Magandang gabi po, sir.
Good evening po, Your Honor.
Sir, nabanggit niyo kanina na mayroong mahigit 11,000 na empleyado ang ABS-CBN at ito ay nahahati sa mga kategoryang ito. Una, regular, talent, program, project employees, independent contractors. Para po sa higit na kaliwanagan nito, maaari niyo bang ikwento sa amin ang pagkakaiba? Paano ba nasasabi ng isang empleyado ay regular, talent? Ano po yung project program? Ano po yung independent contractors?
Thank you, Mr. Chair, Your Honor. May I ask that Attorney Jojo Alonso be recognized to give the framework na tinatanong niyo po?
Mr. Chair, may I be recognized?
Sige po.
Well, to answer that question, Congresswoman, Mr. Chair, we have to be reminded that Republic Act 7966 granted ABS-CBN a franchise to construct, install, operate, and maintain TV and radio broadcast stations. So, broadcasting, as understood in the industry, is the transmission of programs via radio and television. What the station did was to invest in studios and transmitters, and they hired the services or engaged the services of regular employees needed to run the facility or the station, such as engineers and office workers. The production of its own content is merely an option. It is incidental and it's not the core function of a company that has been granted a franchise. As a matter of fact, when ABS-CBN began, they licensed content like buying soap operas, Mexican novelas, and at present K-dramas. And then they also sold airtime to block timers with fixed hours, and any income from advertising goes to the block timer. There were also co-production agreements wherein the co-producer would create the content and ABS would provide the airtime. And any money that is generated from advertising is shared between the station and the producer. And then there are also line productions wherein line producers pitch certain concepts and they have their own artists and then they provide the content to the station. So, in this context, the shows are largely dependent on the audience engagement or the market share, and it's very competitive. As we all know, ratings are no longer done monthly, not weekly, but daily, sometimes even hourly. So station-produced shows evolved over the years, and for this reason, the company, ABS-CBN, decided to engage the services of program employees who are assigned to specific programs and who have security of tenure during the duration of the program. There are no regular working hours and it depends totally on the requirements of a program. And when the program ends, they're allowed to enter employment contracts with other companies and the work is output-based. This is we also have the independent contractors, where people who have set skills or have intellectual property creation are engaged by the company to provide services. And no less than, there are in fact 5 House bills at the moment that is intended to protect freelance workers who are independent contractors. So these are the kinds of employment. You have the station-based employees who render services to the facility, render 8 hours a day. They report for work every day. They're not tied down to any program, and they receive monthly salaries, are not affected by any changes in programs, ratings, or formats, and they cannot be engaged by any other employer. Compared to the program employees who are assigned to specific programs, and then of course there are the independent contractors that have set skills or intellectual property creations, who together form the set of workers that render services for ABS-CBN.
Maraming salamat po. Gusto ko lang pong bumalik kay Mr. Mark Nepomuceno, sir.
Apo, Your Honor.
Sir, nabanggit ho kanina ng DOLE na may mga labor cases sa ABS-CBN. So paano po tinutugunan at paano niyo po inaayos ang mga concern na ito bilang dating HR head po?
Your Honor, we, like any other organization, we look at the case that's involved, and we follow the process of the law. And the underlying principle is ABS will always act based on what it believes is right under the law. So pagdating po pag humantong po sa korte, we follow the process of the law. And at the end of it, we will always abide by the final decision of the courts, whatever that decision may be. So ABS will have to stand for what it believes is right, but it will always follow the process of the law and the final orders of the courts, Your Honor.
Okay, maraming salamat po, Sir Mark Nepomuceno. Gusto ko naman pong tanungin ang presidente ng Rank and File Union ng ABS-CBN, si Mr. Raul, kung hindi ako nagkakamali.
Si Mr. John Villanueva po.
Sir John Villanueva, sorry. John?
Yes, ma'am.
John, gusto ko lang malaman, matapos mawala sa ere ang ABS-CBN noong May 5 hanggang sa araw nito o sa oras nito, kung saan sinasabi nga na mayroong mahigit 11,000 na empleyado, kumusta na ang mga empleyadong ito? Lalo pa at kayo ang unang nilalapitan ng mga empleyadong ito sa kanilang mga concerns at sa kanilang pinagdadaan. Kumusta na ang mga empleyado ng ABS-CBN?
Mr. Chair, mababa po ang moral ngayon ng mga manggagawa. Marami pong nagpapadala ng mensahe sa akin na miski hindi po miyembro, at talaga pong tolero po sila, hindi po sila makatulog. Lalo na po, palapit po yung taning na pwedeng magkaroon ng retrenchment sa ABS-CBN.
Sa akin pong pagkakaanam ay nagbigay pa ng 3 buwan matapos ito magsara para kahit pa paano ay magkaroon pa ng sweldo ang mga empleyado. Tama po ba yun?
Opo, 3 buwan po hanggang August po.
Pero sabi niyo nga habang papalapit ang buwan na ito ay may mga pangamba o lalong lumalakas ang pangamba ng mga empleyado.
Sobra pong nangangamba. Di na po makatulog yung iba.
Maraming salamat po, Mr. John. Gusto ko naman hong puntahan ang DOLE. Yusek Ana. Yusek Ana.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, nabanggit niyo kanina nagkaroon kayo ng audit sa ABS-CBN. So, para ho sa higit na kaliwanagan, kapag nag-audit kayo, ano ba yung mga binubusisi ninyo? At ano po yung mga pangunahing inaalam ninyo?
Ang proseso po ay hinihingi po namin ang mga tinatawag po namin na employment records, which really pertains to pay requirements po na nire-require ng batas. Our labor inspectors carry a checklist at yun ay tinitignan nila isa-isa. And then they will appreciate it if magkakaroon po sila ng tinatawag natin na findings or observations. At ipapaliwanag po nila ito. Bago po sila matapos, ipapaliwanag po nila ito sa employer at saka sa employees representative.
Yusek, gaano kadalas ang pag-audit na ito, hindi lamang sa ABS-CBN, kundi maging sa ibang kumpanya na ginagawa niyo ang prosesong ito?
Ang routine po ay ginagawa namin every 2 years, except kung may reklamo po, we do it as regular and as often as there are complaints.
At sa inyo pong huling pag-audit sa ABS-CBN, ano po ang natuklasan ninyo?
Yun pong pinresent namin kanina, yun po yung brief summary ng nangyari sa inspection audit. Meron pong mga findings, but as we said, nag-submit po sila ng mga compliance over a period of time.
Ibig sabihin ho, ang mga dokumento at ang mga papeles na kinakailangang isumite bilang pagsunod sa pamantayan ng DOLE ay naisumite naman ng kumpleto ng ABS-CBN.
Tama po yun.
Maraming salamat po, Yusek. At bilang panghuli, Mr. Chair, gusto ko hong tanungin si Mr. Carlo Katigbak.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Carlo Katigbak, natanong ko kanina yung presidente ng Rank and File Union na kumusta na ang mga empleyado matapos magsara o mawala sa area ng ABS-CBN mula noong May 5 hanggang sa mga oras nito. Gusto ko rin yung itanong ito sa inyo. Kumusta na ho ang mga empleyado?
Hirap na hirap po ang mga empleyado namin, Mr. Chair. Unang-una, sa panahon po ng pandemya, ay mahirap talaga makahanap ng panibagong trabaho. If you are retrenched and laid off, I think you will have to deal with the fear and uncertainty of not knowing how you will continue to provide for your family. Most of our employees are going through this right now, Mr. Chair. And I wish we could give them the assurance that everything will be okay, but that power rests with Congress.
At nabanggit din po at napag-alaman din natin na ang tinitingnan ho ay hanggang Agosto para magsimula na ang pagbabawas ng mga empleyado. Tama ho ba ito?
Tama po yan, Mr. Chair. Nung tumama yung pandemya, gumawa po kami ng isang pangako sa aming mga empleyado, aming mga kapamilya, na hanggang sa kaya namin, hindi po kami magbabawas ng trabaho. But the joint impact of COVID together with the cease and desist order is going to make it impossible for us to keep all our employees. So, alam po nila that by August, kung walang magbabago sa sitwasyon po namin, we will have to make some very painful and difficult decisions.
Maraming salamat po, Mr. Carlo Katigbak. Maraming salamat po, Mr. Chair. Magandang gabi po sa inyo.
Maraming salamat, Congresswoman Aragones. Next po na magtatanong is si Congressman Garbin na binigyan ng additional oras ni Congressman Ino D. at Congresswoman Violado. Kong Garbin.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Magandang gabi po. Naririnig niyo po ba ako?
Malinaw, Kong Garbin, please proceed.
Magandang gabi po sa inyong lahat ulit. Ang aking kong katanungan ay patungo ho doon sa ABS-CBN. Ito'y patungkol sa copyright at payment of royalties. Pero bago ako mag-umpisa ng aking katanungan, let me read a few statements laying the premise of my question. Now, copyright exists over original and derivative intellectual creations in the literary and artistic domain protected from the moment of their creation. Audiovisual and cinematographic works are among those protected by copyright. However, this protection is not without exemptions. Formats of the TV programs and news of the days are not copyrightable. In audiovisual work, as a general rule, the producer, author of the scenario, the composer of the music, the film director, and the author of the work so adopted owns the copyright as an exemption unless otherwise provided in an agreement. The producers shall exercise the copyright to an extent required for the exhibition of the work in any manner, except for the right to collect performing license fees for the performance of the musical composition, with or without words which are incorporated into the work. Further, the term of protection for audiovisual works is 50 years from the date of publication, and if unpublished, from the date of making. The authors, producers, directors, etc. may receive fees or royalties for the use of their work. Royalties are used in tax treaties, generally include payments of any kind received as consideration for the use of or the right to use any copyright, patent, or trademark. To ABS-CBN po, sa nilipas po ng mga taon, you have aired films and audiovisual works produced or written by other persons. Ang tanong, did you secure a written authorizations from them before you make the public presentations of their films or audiovisual works?
Mr. Chairman, ABS-CBN executes contracts or agreements with all of the workers who are contracted to produce intellectual properties. And in those agreements, it's agreed that the rights of ABS-CBN as producer are absolute. The workers agree to assign whatever intellectual property rights they may have in the work. These works are commissioned works as defined in the Intellectual Property Code. So all necessary rights are secured by ABS-CBN, Mr. Chairman, prior to exhibiting any intellectual property work.
Now, can you tell to this committee the process of securing authorization from the original author or the producer of work before you air a certain film or TV show which had been produced years prior to its rerun? Ano yung proseso ng pag-secure ng kanilang authorization?
Mr. Chairman, the works aired by ABS-CBN may either be works produced by ABS-CBN or works produced by third parties. For works that are produced by third parties, necessary license agreements are executed with those producers that authorize ABS-CBN to exhibit the intellectual property works. Insofar as works produced by ABS-CBN are concerned, ABS-CBN executes contracts with all of the workers who are engaged for the production of the intellectual property work, such as a television program or a movie. And the rights of the parties are clearly stated in those agreements. And ABS-CBN, as the producer, owns the end product or the intellectual property that is produced as a result of the production.
Doon sa intellectual properties na ating dinidiscuss, kayo ho ba nagbabayad ng royalties or service fees sa ating mga producers, sa ating directors, artists, etc. sa kanilang mga gawa pag niliran ho natin ito? Ano yung inyong kasunduan?
Mr. Chairman, the agreements are the nature of what are called commissioned works. And as commissioned works, ABS-CBN owns all rights of the end product, Mr. Chairman. As a result of that arrangement, no royalties or any further payments are due to the workers who are involved in the production of the programs.
Now, who collect the royalties? Kung hindi yung involved sa programa, sino yung entitled lang sa mga royalties?
Under the Intellectual Property Code, Mr. Chairman, the creators of the intellectual properties are entitled to royalties under certain circumstances. However, if they assign all their rights to the work, then they waive any claim for royalties. This is the case in the engagement of the workers for the programs of ABS-CBN, Mr. Chairman.
Now, can you enumerate again to this committee your talent employees? Sino-sino ho ba sila? For example lang, sino yung mga talent employees nyo?
The independent contractors, Mr. Chairman, are the performers, the actors, the actresses, the writers, script writers, the directors. These are the intellectual property creators, and they are engaged as independent contractors, Mr. Chairman.
So when you speak of the directors, the producers, script writers, they are talents. Tama ho ba? Talent employees.
The industry uses the word talents, Mr. Chairman, but they are engaged as independent contractors. The word talent does not appear in the Intellectual Property Code nor in any labor laws, but the so-called talents are treated in the industry as independent contractors.
Now, the work and grant of the rights in the agreement for independent contractors, which states that the company commissions talent to create and perform the work for the program, picture, or project. The company shall be the sole and exclusive owner of the work without material or territorial limitations, including the copyright and related rights. Without limiting the foregoing, the company shall have the irrevocable and exclusive right in perpetuity throughout the world to distribute, exhibit, sell, lease, license, publicly perform, broadcast. Can you explain this po? Itong item na to na sinasabi nyo kanina.
Mr. Chairman, that provision expressly states the arrangement or agreement between ABS-CBN as the producer and the workers who are engaged for the production of the television programs. Because the work is considered a commissioned work under the Intellectual Property Code, ABS-CBN owns all rights to the end product or the result or output of the work of the independent contractors. In this case, for example, television programs or movies, ABS-CBN owns all rights over the episodes of the television program or the movie, and therefore, as such owner, owns all rights in the use or exhibition of that program or movie.
So, based on the said provisions that I have cited and the opinion that you have just recited, can you confirm that if ABS-CBN owns all the copyright of all its TV and films, hence the director, the producers, and even the scriptwriters waive all the rights to their work to ABS-CBN? Tama ho ba?
That is correct, Mr. Chairman.
And can you confirm also that you do not pay royalties to your directors, producers, and scriptwriters when their work has been rerun? Tama ho ba?
Under that arrangement, no, there are no royalties paid, Mr. Chairman, other than the fee that is agreed upon for the engagement of the independent contractor.
Now, let me proceed to the labor. Yusek Ana. Yusek Ana, you have stated a while ago and based on your presentation that the ABS-CBN is fully compliant with all its general labor standard obligations and occupational safety. Can you confirm the same, Yusek Ana?
Yes, ABS-CBN has fully complied with all the findings and violations that has been and that has been found out during the inspection.
But alam naman ho natin na may mga pending cases ang ABS-CBN with regards to illegal dismissal or ano pa man, alleged violation of labor standards or labor relations. And we all know that the primary jurisdiction of which does not belong to this committee but to the NLRC or to the court. Tama ho ba?
Yes po, yun pong yung inspection po has a different jurisdiction. Doon po sa alleged illegal dismissal, yung pong illegal dismissal, nandoon po siya sa NLRC. Yun po yung pagkakaiba nun. So when we say that ABS-CBN fully complied, we refer to the findings during the inspection. We do not refer to the cases of illegal dismissal filed before the NLRC.
Pag-usapan naman ho natin yung mga kaso with a status of final and executory. Those cases that have been settled by either the NLRC, which has no appeal or pending appeal before the Court of Appeals or the Supreme Court. Meaning, those orders that are final and executory, just waiting for execution or na-execute na. May mga kaso mo ba against ABS-CBN wherein, as I've said, having attained the status of being final and executory, all the orders and awards by the court were executed or were denied by ABS-CBN. Nag-comply ho ba ang ABS-CBN doon sa mga orders ng korte, be it NLRC, Court of Appeals, or Supreme Court, or they deny final executory orders? If you have any knowledge.
Mr. Chair, Your Honor, dito po, if we refer to the dole proper, isa lang po ang kaso that is pending with the Supreme Court at yan po yung certification election case in 2010. So with respect po doon sa mga illegal dismissal, whether they're on appeal and have become final and executory, I think, sir, I refer you to Attorney Perez of NLRC. Nandito po, kasama po natin siya sa Zoom.
Mas mabuti na tanungin natin yung NLRC. Ang tanong ko lang yung mga kaso na ang status ay final and executory na yung judgment. Antod ko na kung nagkukumply yung ABS-CBN sa mga awards, like for example, back wages, reinstatement, kung yun ay nilirespeto rin ng ABS-CBN.
Sa party po namin, sa dole proper, wala po akong alam na pending pa. Lahat
doon yung NLRC, tanungin natin yung NLRC.
Yes.
Kasi
Attorney Perez. Attorney Perez, naka-unmute. Please unmute. Hindi siya humibol.
Hello. Good evening po, Mr. Chair, Your Honor. Based po sa aming data, makita po namin na yung sa mga reinstatement, nag-comply naman po ang ABS-CBN. Pero meron pa rin pong pending for execution. Kagaya nga po ng nasabi kanina ni Mr. Payunan, meron po kasing naka-head in abeyance, pending resolution po ng Payunan case before the Supreme Court. So once po na ma-resolve na ang Payunan case ng Supreme Court, itutuloy na po namin yung pending execution ng ibang kasong kasama po nun.
So, ang gusto kong sabihin, attorney, yung mga kaso na wala nang ibang issue kung hindi i-execute na lang ng korte, even those execution pending appeal, nagkukumply naman ho yung ABS-CBN o nilirespeto naman ho yung desisyon ng korte.
Based po sa initial data namin, nagko-comply naman po sila.
At wala ho kayong knowledge na pagkakaalam na dinify ho ng ABS-CBN yung final and executory judgment.
Sa ngayon po, wala naman po.
Salamat po, attorney.
Salamat.
And let me go back to you, Sec. Ana, dahil medyo magtatapos na ho ang aking katanungan. Yusek Ana, Dole.
Yes po.
Yusek Ana, you will agree with me that DOLE is all about protection of the Filipino workers from abuses. Is that correct?
Yes po.
And we all know that labor case filed by an employee, whether it be against for illegal dismissal or violations of any labor standards or labor relations, the primary jurisdiction of which belongs to labor courts. Tama ho ba? Like for example, meron sa DOLE, depende sa monetary award na hinihingi, meron din sa NLRC, and then the appeal courts will be the Court of Appeals and the Supreme Court. Tama ho ba?
Tama po kayo, Your Honor.
That is the proper venue to address the grievances of each employee. Tama ho ba?
Tama po.
And kaya nga ho, tinatanong ko sa inyo that from the DOLE's perspective, are we doing service? The network will be permanently shut down, or would you rather see that it continue operating to ensure employments to its employees? Kung ikaw ang iyo, kasi kung may violation ang isang kumpanya, ano ba ang ginagawa nyo? Pinapa-comply nyo sa violation or sinasara nyo kaagad ng isang kumpanya?
Your Honor, kami po ay, ang trabaho po namin kung may mga violations ay to see to it na mag-comply ang isang kumpanya at wala po kaming mandato na magpasara po ng kumpanya based on violations.
And in your own perspective as protector of the Filipino workers, opinion mo lamang ho, bilang isang champion ng mga manggagawa, would you rather see that ABS-CBN magsara o to ensure that employment is to employees to continue o gano'n o? Anong opinion nyo bilang isang undersecretary?
Sir, with respect to sa ABS-CBN, I would beg to refrain from making comments, but on a general perspective po, kami po sa ngayon ay focusing on tinatawag po namin na efforts and initiatives for employment preservation sa panahon na ito. But with ABS-CBN, we try, hindi po kami nagbibigay ng comment dyan. Nasa judgment po ng Congress.
And when you speak of employment preservation, that also applies to ABS-CBN employees. Tama po ba?
Tama po.
Salamat po, Yusek. Hindi na kita kabalahin. Dumako naman tayo dun sa dalawang nagreklamo. Unahin po natin si Mr. Christopher Mendoza.
Good evening po.
Magandang gabi, Mr. Christopher Mendoza. Yes. Narinig ko kanina na patawad mo na yung ABS-CBN.
Opo.
Bali ho, sa inyong pananaw ngayon, tuluyan nyo bang, gusto nyo bang tuluyan ng makitang magsara ang ABS-CBN? Or mag-operate pa ho ito, mag-grant ang franchise para ho makapagsilbi pa at ma-insure yung employment ng kanilang mga empleyado? Ano ang inyong pahayag ngayon? Despite sa kabila ng lahat na ikaw nga ho ay
Opo.
sa tingin, biktima ka ng illegal dismissal.
Tulad nga po na nasabi ko kanina, kung may violation po, alam nyo na po kung ano ang karapat-dapat, kung ano ang dapat sa nagkasala. Kung may violation po ang ABS, manaig po ang batas. Tama po ba? Kaya po tinanong ko kanina, Congressman, kung ano po ba yung pinag-uusapan dito, kung renewal pa o panibagong prangkisa na po. Kasi po, kung panibagong prangkisa na po, doon napapasok po yung dapat clear yung name ng ABS-CBN ni Gabi Lopez. So dapat ayusin lahat ng problema, labor, tax, kung ano-ano pa po yan. Kasi panibagong prangkisa, panibagong lisensya po yan eh. So dapat hindi ka mabibigyan ng panibagong lisensya kung hindi ka nakapasa. Tama po ba?
Well, those are the requirements that we have to look into. Pero sabi ko nga ho kanina, Mr. Mendoza, in all labor cases, especially labor violations, meron ho mga korte o mga opisina na has the primary jurisdiction to address those problema. In fact, tinanong ko nga yung ating USEC sa labor na pag may violation sa labor, isang kumpanya ay pinapakomply ho nila. Hindi ho nila sinasara dahil they are for the protection of labor. Kaya ho, simple lang ho yung tanong ko sa iyo, kayo bilang merong pending case before or against the ABS-CBN, dating manggagawa, sa inyo hong pananaw, ano po ba ang inyong pananaw? Gusto nyo bang tuluyan ng magsara ang ABS-CBN? Sa inyong pananaw lang or makita pong pag-operate pa para ho makapagbigay pa ng employment?
Sa
Dahil
akin
pinag-uusapan ho natin ngayon, trabaho, labor.
Opo. Sa akin pananaw po, dapat mag-continue. Pero dapat po, yun nga paulit-ulit, lilinisin yung pangalan nila. Isettle lahat, labor. Yung kaso po namin, 18 years na po. Magpapalit na naman ng presidente. Nakailang presidente na po yung kaso namin. Namatay na po kami ng 2 kasamahan. Yun lang po, justice po para sa ginawa sa amin noong 2010 na bigla ang pagtanggal sa amin. Yun lang po ang gusto namin mangyari.
So, masasagot mo ba yung aking katanungan? With all the compliance of ABS-CBN, kung mag-comply sila sa order ng korte, sa anumang mga awards na ipapataw sa kanila. Again, gusto nyo bang makitang magsara o patuloy na mag-operate, mag-ere ang ABS-CBN para ko ma-ensure din yung employment ng ibang empleyado?
Kung ako po ang tatanungin, continuous po, mag-operate po ulit sila. Pero, ayun nga po, paulit-ulit sila sabi ko, i-clear muna yung nila. I-settle lahat. Pero, pabor po ako na mag-continue sila. Basta malinis po ang lahat.
Salamat, Mr. Mendoza. Kaya nga yan yung tinatanong natin sa ating abogado sa NLRC at sa Department of Labor and Employment na yung mga award at judgment ng korte na naging ng final and executory, tinatanong po natin sila kung sila ba ay nagbabayad sa mga wages at reinstatement. At sinagot naman ho ng NLRC na nagko-comply naman ho sa lahat ng judgment ng korte. Ang lungkot lang ho dahil yung kaso nyo ay
18 years na po.
18 years
18
na ho.
years po.
We have a saying that justice delayed is justice denied. Talaga ho, naiintindihan kita dahil I was once a labor lawyer na kung saan pinagtatanggol ko rin yung ating mga maliliit na mga panggagawa at talagang ganun katagal ang kaso, hindi lang sa NRC, pag inabot pa sa Supreme talaga ay inaabot ng samsam. Salamat po, Mr. Christopher Mendoza, at sana sa lalong madaling panahon, makamtan niyo ho yung justisya na hinahangan niyo.
Salamat din po.
At sa panghuli na lang po, kay Mr. Payunan na may labor case din po, pending before the Supreme Court, and I've heard that they won the case in the lower courts and now on appeal before the Supreme Court. Mr. Payunan?
Yes, Your Honor.
Hello?
Opo.
Pareho lang ho katanungan ko bilang ho dating empleyado ng ABS-CBN. Mas gugustuhin niyo ho bang patuloy ng magsara ang ABS-CBN or to continue its operation to ensure the employment of its present employees today?
Alam ho ninyo, Your Honor, sa katulad kong karaniwang manggagawa, karaniwang mamamayan, ako po ay nagpapasalamat at for 18 years, napakinggan ang kaso namin. Dahil sa administrasyon na to, ilang presidente ang dumaan. Pero ngayon lang po, kahit papano may kurot sa puso ko na yung mga katulad namin manggagawa, nagkaroon ng boses. Nasa harapan po ninyo ako ngayon, salamat din sa social media, kahit papano na ihayag. Sa katanungan po ninyo, Your Honor, 2 lang po ang may sasagot ko. Kasi ako naniniwala ako bilang Pilipino, makabayan, yung salita ng pagrespeto sa konstitusyon at sa saligang batas ay siya ang dapat manaig. Alam naman natin na may mga bulong sa paligid na maaring mabastos o mabaliwala ang konstitusyon at saka yung saligang batas. Kung ano ang hatol, doon po ko. Tanggap ko kung magsara sila, hindi ho ako magbubunyi, kundi ako'y maawa sa kanila dahil siyempre naranasan ko rin yan. Kung mabigyan ng prangkisa, ano naman ang kasiguraduhan na sila ay susunod na sa batas? Sa katulad ko, ordinaryong manggagawa, ordinaryong mamamayan, ang sandata ko sa pagharap sa inyo ngayon ay yung batas na umiiral sa ating bansa. Yan lang ho ang aking sandata. Yung puso, yung lakas ng loob ko na humarap sa inyo na sa milyong tao na bumubuo sa ating bansa, ako ho'y natutuwa kahit papano masasabi ko, ay may batas pala tayo. Meron tayong pangil. Ika nga, walang pinipili mayaman o mahirap. Sa katanungan ho ninyo, Your Honor, dalawa ho ang sagot ko dyan. Pwedeng bigyan ng prangkisa, pwedeng hindi. Pero ang sa akin ho, doon sa pagbibigay ng prangkisa, katulad ko ho, nagmamaneho rin ako, meron kaming maliit na, kinukuha namin ng permit yan. Pero siyempre, chine-check or pinag-aaralan ng estado mo sa buhay kung ikaw ba'y karapat-dapat na bigyan ng prangkisa o ng panibagong lisensya. Sa ganun pong pagkakalatag, sana yung kasiguraduhan lang na ayusin nila. No? Ang nakakatawa nga ho, kaming maliliit, ay siya pang nakakaunawa sa mga nasa taas.
Mr. Chairman.
Yun lang po, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I have no further questions. Salamat po, Mr. Payunan. Salamat, Mr. Mendoza. And to all our resource speaker from the DOLE and NRC and the members of the committee. Salamat po, Mr. Chair. Nagabi ko sa inyo lahat.
Maraming salamat, Congressman Garbin. Sunod po na magtatanong.
Chairman Chicoy, excuse me po, Chairman Chicoy. Gusto lang po magpahayag ng ABS-CBN. Meron po ba kayong gustong sabihin, ABS-CBN?
Salamat po, Mr. Chairman. Ako po si Francis Sobreviñas, isa sa mga abogado ng ABS-CBN sa usaping ito. Pahintulutan po ninyong magbigay ako ng konting karagdagan dun sa order na inilabas ng Department of Labor and Employment exculpating or absolving ABS-CBN of any labor law violations. Doon po sa usapin na nagsimula sa pamamagitan ng labor inspection, tatlo po ang issues na lumabas. Namely,
excuse me, ABS-CBN, yan po ba'y nasumitin nyo na dito sa committee ito? Yung affidavit pong babasahin?
ang nais ko lang pong, dahil narinig ko po ang
naisumitin nyo
kabilang
na po ba
panig,
yung affidavit po na yan?
maikli lamang po, Your Honor.
Excuse me po. Naisumitin nyo na po ba yung affidavit pong babasahin po ninyo? Yung position paper po nyo, naisumitin nyo na po? Hearing suspended.
Anong
Hearing resumed. Binibigyan po ng joint chairman ng ng mga committee ito ng 2 minuto ang ABS-CBN upang magkomento doon po sa pahayag ng DOLE sa katanungan kanina ni Congressman Garbin. ABS-CBN, you're now recognized.
Marami pong salamat. Sa ilalim po ng ating legal system, ang isang quasi-judicial agency tulad ng Department of Labor and Employment, kapag ito po nag-issue ng order at yung order naman po merong substantial evidence na tinatawag, ang ating rule po yung order ng Department of Labor na iyon, which belongs to the executive, a co-equal branch of the government, is entitled to respect and even finality. So ang nais ko lamang pong, at matatapos na ako, ang nais ko lamang pong bigyang diin na Mr. Chairman is that yung department order na to clearing ABS-CBN of any labor law violation, including labor standards violations, occupational and safety and health, at lalong-lalo na po yung tinatawag na security of tenure violations na wala po silang nakita, we cannot emphasize enough the significance, the value, the worth of this order for ABS-CBN. So itong order po ito na in-issue na tinutukoy ko, hindi ho natin dapat kalimutan at lalong-lalo na hindi ho natin dapat maliitin. Salamat po.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, Vice Chairman Defensor.
In as much, Mr. Chairman, that I would like to take this up during my time, niraise po ng abogado si Attorney Sobreviñas yung order coming from the Department of Labor and Employment. Hindi po totoo yan. May sulat po sa amin dito sa komite, signed by Secretary Bello, of the existing cases that you have. Letter A, ito pong, first the information on how many workers that you have. Letter B, labor relations cases from the docket of the Bureau of Labor Relations. You have a pending case in the Supreme Court. Ito po yung mga kaso ng mga nakaupong empleyado rito. Number 2, petition for cancellation, yung certificate of registration ng IJM workers. At ito po yung mga list ng mga cases involving mediation and conciliation. So I'm sorry to say, Mr. Chairman, please do not invoke the statement of the Department of Labor because in the same manner, andito po ang sulat ng Department of Labor, binigay dito sa aming komite. So Mr. Chairman, maybe at a proper time we could discuss this. Huwag muna po tayong magsalita kung sinong clear o hindi. Dahil yung mga manggagawang nandito, hanggang sa ngayon may kaso po yan. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Maraming salamat, Vice Chairman Defensor, at ibinabalik ko na po kay Chairman Chikoy ang pagpe-preside.
Maraming salamat, Chair Jonathan. Next, recognize po natin si Congresswoman Diana Bautista. Kong Diana.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Good evening, Chairman Chikoy. Good evening, Chairman Jonathan. I just have a few clarificatory questions with ABS-CBN. So, ABS-CBN may answer this. Based on the submissions, your submissions to the committee and the presentation of DOLE, you have over about 4,000 employees. And 7,000 of that are what you considered under talents. So my question is, when did ABS-CBN start using these talent contracts?
Good evening, Mr. Chair, Your Honor. It has been the industry practice until today that so-called talents are used for the shows, and talents who are really classified as independent contractors in the labor code, Your Honor. Beginning 2001, we implemented the work pool, or the program employment system, where those who were attached, who did work for the programs that were project in nature, we hired as project employees, or what we call, following Policy Instruction 40, program employees. So if that is the question, Your Honor, we deviated from the industry starting 2001 with regard to those whose jobs were project work in nature, Your Honor.
Okay. Thank you, sir. So before that, these employees were working on creating content, were regular employees. Kasi po kanina, sabi nung isang dating empleyado kanina that formerly regular employees were turned into talents so they would no longer be employees. Pero sa sinabi nyo kanina, sabi ng side ng ABS-CBN, kasama sa bilang ng 11,000 plus employees ang independent contractors at project workers na hindi naman talaga regular nyo na employees.
Okay. Thank you, Your Honor. May I clarify that? First of
Yes.
all, the number of 11,000 workers are the number of workers that the ABS-CBN group, not just the corporation, but the ABS-CBN group composed of all 17 companies in the group. 11,000 is the number of workers that it needs for its operations on a monthly basis. Those workers are a mix of regular employees, program employees or project employees we hire for our programs, as well as independent contractors, Your Honor. So the nature of the work determines the kind of hiring or engagement that we do with the worker, Your Honor. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, sir. I just have follow-up questions. So because it seems now that ABS-CBN are claiming their talents as their employees. In the case of Begino, Valle, and Sumaya versus ABS-CBN Corporation, which was decided by the Supreme Court on April 20, 2015, ABS-CBN was arguing that people under such talent contracts are not employees or they did not have an employer-employee relationship with them. Am I correct?
Mr. Chair, Your Honor, may I ask that Attorney Maxim Uy be recognized?
Mr. Chairman.
Go ahead.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, the statements are correct.
Thank you, Attorney. So in that case, the Supreme Court ruled that ABS-CBN was wrong because these individuals under the talent contracts are in fact employees of ABS-CBN. However, despite that, the Supreme Court already ruled, the report submitted to this joint committee by the SSS, DOLE, and BIR very clearly show that until now, ABS-CBN has never declared these talents as regular employees. Can you just please explain this?
Yes, Mr. Chairman,
Go ahead, please.
the ruling of the Supreme Court in the case cited by the Honorable Congressman is limited to the parties to that case. In this case, the complainants mentioned. The ruling of the Supreme Court does not result in a across-the-board ruling that certain functions that are performed by certain workers must be in connection with an employment arrangement. On the contrary, the Supreme Court has ruled that workers may be engaged whether as employees or as independent contractors. There is what is called management prerogative to outsource any work, even those that are deemed to be core or peripheral in nature to the activities of the business entity. So therefore, there is no rule that says that employees must be engaged to perform certain activities and that independent contractors cannot be so engaged. As was stated earlier in the opening statement, workers may be engaged as regular employees, or if their work is limited to a specific project, they may be engaged as project employees, or they may also be engaged as independent contractors. It is management prerogative to decide the legal relationship with those workers in the performance of any work.
Okay, thank you, sir. I would just like to ask, where are your employees, Bigino, Valley, and Sumayaw? Are they still with ABS-CBN? And if so, what is their status? Are they still contractual employees or regular employees?
The ABS-CBN reached a settlement with the complainants in that case, and they're not connected with ABS-CBN, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Chair, what do these talent and employees who are provided by the manpower agencies do? Aren't these jobs directly related to the business of ABS-CBN? Aren't these usual and necessary for your business?
Mr. Chairman, whether or not any activity is necessary or desirable in the business of any entity does not determine or require that the workers for those activities should be regular employees. As was stated, the Supreme Court has ruled and recognized that it is the management prerogative to decide whether or not to engage workers as independent contractors or employees, regardless of the activity. The necessity or desirability of any activity does not determine whether or not a worker should be an employee. This is settled in Supreme Court decisions, Mr. Chairman.
I just have a final statement lang. To those who are watching, just to be clarified also, ABS-CBN has been claiming that they have a total of 11,000 employees that will be jobless if their franchise is not renewed. However, it is very clear that from your own reports to the government agencies that ABS-CBN never gave the 7,000 talents and the employees from the manpower agencies the status of being regular employees, totally ignoring the ruling of the Supreme Court itself. And that ends my interpellation, Mr. Chair. Thank you and good evening to everyone.
Mr. Chair, if I may just clarify the numbers. Thank you, Your Honor, Mr. Chair. In the group of 11,000 employees, there are 6,705 regular employees. And then those that are hired as project employees or and program employees, the number is 2,208. And then in the group of 11,000, there are 2,158 independent contractors, or those that I think are being referred to as talents. Thank you, Your Honor. I just wanted to clarify that. Salamat po.
Maraming salamat po. At next po ay tatawagan natin si Congressman Mikey Arroyo. Nandiyan pa po ba si Kong Mikey? Kung wala na po si Kong Mikey, punta na po tayo sa last na po na magtatanong para ngayong gabing ito, si Congressman Mike Defensor. Kong Mike.
Maraming salamat, Mr. Chairman. Chairman Chiu Alvarez of the Legislative Franchise Committee at sa aming pong Chairman Alvarado ng Good Government. Kumari pong ibigay lang po yung PowerPoint presentation. Habang pong ginagawa yan, gusto ko lang po malaman doon sa dalawa nating kasama sa grupo ng manggagawa, si Mr. Mendoza at si Mr. Bayong. Kayo po ba yung kasama sa IGM Union? Si Mr. Bayong po ang presidente dati.
Your Honor, opo, kasama po kami. Actually, gumawa kami ng temporary draft ng mga officers para i-represent yung grupo namin.
At si Mr. Mendoza rin po, kasama po sa grupong yan. Okay, if I may present yung ating slide. Alam niyo po, and maganda ho, nandito yung ating HR para mapag-usapan. Dahil ito po ay parang isang sitwasyon na hindi lamang isa, dalawa na kaso, pero isang pulisiya sa loob ng ABS-CBN. Nung una, nakukumplika ako dahil maraming mga bumabalot na issue, maraming mga organisasyon sa loob ng ABS-CBN, pero sana mahimay natin. Next slide, please.
Tumarin niyo, paludo ako sa inyo. Nagutom niyo ang pamilya ko. Pamilya namin, nagutom niyo ang aking mga anak. Di ba anak ko? Hindi ka makatao! Mula nung tayo'y nagtayo ng union para igiit ang mga karapatan natin bilang manggagawa ng ABS-CBN, nag-file tayo sa legal na proseso ng tamang pamamaraan at tamang kurso para makilala tayo ang ating union bilang mga regular na empleyado ng ABS-CBN. Ito ay firmado at binigay ng Bureau of Labor Relations. Ang decision ay tayo ay kinikilala bilang mga regular na empleyado ng ABS-CBN. At malinaw na yung mga tinanggal, tayong mga nasa labas ngayon, ay isang patotoo na mulat sa poll ang naging laban natin para ipakilala na tayo ay mga manggagawa at regular na manggagawa ng ABS-CBN ay ito na. Hawang na naming pinapantayan ang kaganapan dito sa ABS-CBN. Ang gulo ay hindi makatarungan ang naging pagtanggal sa mga manggagawa rito, lalo ilang dekada na naglingkod sa naturang kumpanya. Ang inyong nararanasan sa ngayon ay naranasan na namin at kasalukuyang mararanasan pa.
2010 po na mag-rally, kasama Christopher Jornalin malamang na nasa labas ng panahon ito. Next slide. Nang panahon pong nasa labas ang mga empleyado. Next slide please. Noong panahon pong nasa labas ang mga empleyado, nagdeklara ang ABS-CBN na kumita siya ng 3.4 billion pesos. Humigit kumulang 80%, 87%, dahil po noong 2009, ang kinita niya ay 1.7 billion pesos. Next slide. Mismong sa deklarasyon ng ABS-CBN, 2010 profit jumps 87% to record 3.2 billion pesos. Next slide please. On October 23, Nobyembre po, nagkaroon ng petition for certification ng eleksyon ang internal job market employees of ABS-CBN. At ipapaliwanag ko yan kung sino yung mga yan. Ang gusto lang po ng mga empleyadong to ay kilalanin sila bilang empleyado ng ABS-CBN at hindi po ng IGM. Ang mga empleyado pong ito ay kabilang ang mga cameraman, crane operator, VTR man, among others, including yung mga talents po nila ng mga reporters. Ito po ay batay sa sulat na rin ni Secretary Sylvester Bello dito sa Komite ng Legislative Franchises. Next slide. Ang International Federation of Journalists ay nagsabi, calling for ABS-CBN to withdraw these contracts, reinstate the staff, and recognize the right employees have to permanent work and all related benefits under the law, free of retrograde conditions. Ang National Union of Journalists of the Philippines, affiliated po sa IFJ, sinabi niya, respect the rights of employees to job security, organize, seek redress of grievances, and fair working conditions. Next slide, please. Ito po yung laging test, fourfold test para sa isang empleyado. Na sa pagpili ng empleyado ay may karapatan ang kumpanya. Sa sweldo niya, may karapatan. Pagtatanggalin, may karapatan ang kumpanya. At kung ano man ang conduct ng kanyang empleyado, may karapatan ng kumpanya. Si Jonard po, si Christopher Jornalin, ngayon ko lang po nakilala. Ngayon ko lang po sila na kausap. Nung kayo po ay nagprotesta, ilang taong na ho kayo nagtatrabaho sa ABS-CBN?
Tinanggap nila ako bilang cameraman noong 1997. So, tinanggal nila ako ng 2010. Pero yung 97, isa po sa mga rason kung bakit ako nag-file ng case noong 2002. Kasi po, wala po akong benepisyo na natatanggap from 1997 to 2002.
So, ang ibig mo sabihin, Jornalin, 13 years ka na empleyado ng ABS-CBN bilang cameraman.
Your Honor, tama po.
Okay. Christopher, nung kayo nag-rally, kasama ka rin dito, ilang taong ka na nagtatrabaho sa ABS-CBN?
1995 po ako until 2010. Bali, 15 years po.
15 years. Ano trabaho mo sa ABS-CBN?
Audioman po.
Audioman. Ikaw po, Mr. Jornalin?
Cameraman po.
Cameraman. Ang mga trabaho pong ito ay partikular na kailangan, kasama sa fourfold test, na siyang nagbibigay ng produkto ng ABS-CBN. Essential po to sa trabaho ng mga ginagawang produkto ng ABS-CBN, partikular ang kanilang mga programa. 13 years, 15 years, hindi po mga regular na empleyado to. Next slide please. Ang tagal ko pong pinag-aralan kung ano ang setup sa loob ng ABS-CBN. Meron pala diyang mga grupo ng internal job market. Hinanap ko kung ito po'y isang kumpanya. Ito po'y palang isa ring kumpanya na ABS-CBN din o kung paano ang setup ang may-ari. Our HR is here. Maybe you can respond to that.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair. It is not a company, Your Honor. It is just the internal job market is a database of the workers we hire for our programs. So it's really like a human resources information system of workers. It's not a registered company, Your Honor.
Thank you so much for that. Then, mas maganda po at mas malinaw para sa akin dahil ang akala ko nung una, parang manpower agency siya sa loob ng ABS-CBN. Yung pala, talagang ABS-CBN siya. So meron silang intellectual property creators which include the directors. You have the internal job market which includes production assistants, drivers, crane operators, audioman, cameraman. Nasa IGM po yan. And you have the technical staff within that pool that you have within ABS-CBN. Ang ibig po sabihin, maging sa ABS-CBN, talagang tao nyo to. At kasama po to sa inyong datos o sa inyong mga empleyado na inyong ginagamit sa inyong mga trabaho. So, next slide please. Ano ba ang naging problema ni Jornaline Christopher? Ngayon ko lang po sila na-meet, ngayon ko lang nakausap. Ito pong mga taong to, hindi ho governed ng 8-hour work law dahil hindi sila regular. Ang mga taong pong to, walang sick leave. Ang mga taong pong to, o karamihan sa kanila, o hindi naman karamihan, ang iba sa kanila, walang pag-ibig, walang PhilHealth, walang SSS. By the way, Mr. Chairman, ang isang kasama lang reporter, kung di ako nagkakamali, si Weng Hidalgo ba? Tama ba? Si Weng Hidalgo, I would like to request that she be invited. Because she was in ABS-CBN nung nagkaso po na to 16 years. Kaya lang niya nalaman na may problema siya, nagpunta siya ng ospital, wala siyang PhilHealth. Sa kadahilan ng hindi nga siya regular. At ito po yung mga empleyadong nasa harap ninyo ngayon. 13 years, 15 years. Yung sa ibang kumpanya nga, 2 years, 3 years, 1 year lang, nire-regular na eh. Ito mga toho, hindi ganon. Wala hong overtime pay, tama? At no work, no pay. Ang mga empleyado pong to should have been regarded as regular. At yun po yung desisyon na ginawa ni Secretary Baldos. Yun yung kanilang pinaglalaban na yung ginawa po nila, nag-election lang sila at batay doon sa eleksyon nila, gusto nila magpakilala para naman sa collective bargaining agreement, magkabenepisyo sila. Doon pa lang sa pagkakaisa nila, tinira na ng ABS-CBN. Hindi na ho pinalusot. Next slide. Ito po, mga simpleng bagay. Ang gusto lang ng mga taong to, isang kaba ng bigas buwan-buwan na ibinibigay sa regular. May pamilya din sila at yun lang po ang hinihingi nila. Ang gusto po ng mga taong to, magka-education and health benefits. At magkaroon sana sila ng leaves at overtime pay. Wala po silang health benefits, meron po sila through private health cards, wala silang 13-month pay, meron lang po silang incentive. Pero yung incentive depende sa supervisor. Pag pangit ang review mo, maliit ang ibibigay sa iyo sa bonus. At tinatanggap po nila isang kaba ng bigas sa 3 buwan. 2010, when they were campaigning to be regularized, ABS-CBN was already earning 3.4 billion pesos. Next slide, please. Meron na pong nanalo sa TRO. Ito po yung grupo ng mga cameramen. Di po ba, may nanalo na. Si Weng Hidalgo, sa aking pagkakaalam, nanalo na rin po kasamang 6 na reporters. Iba-iba pong kaso yan. Ang inyo pong kaso, yung 1,001 employees, nakapending pa rin po sa Supreme Court. So, ang ibig pong sabihin, Mr. Chairman, okay, ito pong kaso na binanggit kanina ni Mr. Jornaline Bayona, yung Nazareno case. Ito pong Nazareno case na to, 2 PA po to sa Cebu. Ang sinisweldo lang po nito, 4,000 pesos isang buwan. Nagdemanda sila at nanalo sila sa Supreme Court. So Mr. Chair, this is a continuing case. This is a case pending before the Supreme Court. At hindi pa ho yan nasasagot hanggang ngayon. Of course, the lawyers will say, may legal ho na proseso. The lawyers will say, let's follow the legal procedure. Pero ang sitwasyon po talaga, at doon po sa mga nanonood, marami po sa inyo dyan, manggagawa, andito po yung dalawa, sinasabi pa nga ng dalawa. Yung isa po, si Mr. Mendoza, kung pwede, buksan din, hindi kami sa shutdown. Pero 13 years, hindi po yan binigyan ng regularization. Tinanggal pa nung nagbuo at nagkaroon ng union. 15 years, si Mr. Bayong, ang sinasabi niya, hindi siya nagsabing isara kayo. Ang sabi niya kung ano yung dapat sa batas, sundin na lang. But this guy, for 15 years, has not been regularized by ABS-CBN. Now, I will ask the HR. This was 2010, 2020 na po ngayon. Meron pa ba tayong ganyang sitwasyon?
Sorry, Your Honor, could you repeat that?
Do we still have a situation na yung mga tao po ninyo for many years ay hindi pa rin nare-regularize?
Your Honor, as explained by Attorney Maxim Uy, we hire workers based on the requirements of the company. So, Your Honor, if the nature of the work, even if it is necessary and desirable, but it is based on a task or a project which has a predetermined start and end, then the job is that of a project employee, Your Honor. Now, if the job is a task performed for output, where the company does not exercise any control over the worker, then the job is that of an independent contractor, Your Honor. Otherwise, the job is that of a regular employee, Your Honor.
Do you mean to tell me ito po mga regular seasonal workers nyo ay ganon? They're not regular employees or are they regular employees?
They are project employees in our work pool, Your Honor.
So hindi po sila regular?
Hindi po sila regular, but they have following the concept of the regular seasonal worker, they have the status of a regular employee at the time that they are engaged in a project, Your Honor.
Opo. Ito po kunyaring si Mr. Mendoza, si Mr. Bayong, cameraman, audioman, ito po ba'y essential sa trabaho ng ABS-CBN?
The work is necessary and desirable, Your Honor, that is correct.
So they will be regular?
If the work that they are, let me clarify po, how, let's say a cameraman may be a regular employee and another one may not be. So a cameraman that is a project employee that is hired for a show, his work, he's hired only for work specific to a project. While a cameraman na regular po, works in a studio. He will shoot any show.
Yes. Sir, may I know, I'm sorry sir, the name of our HR head?
I'm sorry.
Mr. Nepomuceno, have you read the case of Nazareno in the Supreme Court?
Yes, Your Honor.
These are just project assistants. They are project assistants.
Your Honor.
But they were, ang sabi po ng Supreme Court, they should be considered as regular employees. Etong dalawang to, audioman, soundman, audioman and cameraman. Ang sinasabi mo sa akin, project-based. Yun nga Supreme Court, ano lang yun production assistants Sinabi sa inyo, ABS-CBN, regular employees yan, kilalanin nyo yan.
Yes, may I comment, Mr. Chair?
Yes, go ahead.
Yes, thank you. There are material matters in that case which determine the outcome, and may I ask that Attorney Maxim Uy be recognized to discuss the case?
Yes, please.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Chairman, in the case cited by the Honorable Congressman Nazareno, the Supreme Court ruled that control was exercised, and this was the basis for the determination or the finding that they were regular employees. So, as was stated earlier, Mr. Chairman, the ruling of the Supreme Court has limited application only to the parties of the case, so only to the complainants. It is not a declaration that all production assistants have to be regular employees. The decision was determined by the circumstances and facts of the case. And as stated, the Supreme Court has ruled that any function regardless of whether it is necessary or desirable, whether it is peripheral or core to the nature of the business of the entity, can be outsourced and these functions need not be performed by employees.
Attorney, if I may, okay, yung pong binabanggit ninyo, di ba kanina, on the Super Nazareno case, yung fourfold test. Tama po? So,
Yes,
sinabi,
yes, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Ngayon po, ang akin lang naman punto dito, siyempre may kaso kay Supreme Court, didepensahan niyo po yan. And I agree with you. Pero simple lang naman po yung pananaw ng ating taong bayan eh. At sa palagay ko, yung aking mga kasama, cameraman, audioman, ang sasabihin mo, yung fourfold test hindi mag-a-apply, hindi ko siya pwedeng piliin, hindi ko siya pwedeng sabihin kung magkano sweldo ko, hindi ko siya pwedeng tanggalin, wala akong control kung saan siya pupunta. Lahat ng yun, kasama sa ginagawa ng mga empleyadong to. Pero naging pagkakaiba nga, pag ginawa mo silang regular employees, tatanggap sila ng kaunting bigas, tatanggap sila ng 13-month pay, papasok sila doon sa pag nag-retire sila, may benepisyo sila. Yun lang naman to, attorney. And eventually, natalo na rin po ko kayo sa Court of Appeals. Sa 15th Division, pending na naman sa Supreme Court to. Ang sinasabi na itong, kayo po ba ang naging abogado po dito? Ito po yung case ng kay Justice Laguiles. Were you the lawyer for this one, attorney?
No, Mr. Chairman. Cases are handled by external legal counsel of ABS-CBN.
Okay, so thank you for that. But anyway, yun lang po yung binabanggit ko. Kaya po, binabalik ko dun sa HR. Meron po ba kayong kasong katulad na ganito? Cameraman, audioman, writer, producer, na hanggang ngayon po ay hindi regular.
Mr. Chairman, if I may, just to finish the point and...
Please, yes please.
Yeah, thank you. In response to the statement, as was stated by His Honor in the slide presentation, the determination of an employment relationship is governed by the fourfold test as declared by the Supreme Court. In that fourfold test, Mr. Chairman, the necessity or desirability of the activity that is performed is not an element. It is not an element, Mr. Chairman, and therefore it does not determine whether or not a person is engaged as an employee. So as to the question as to whether certain functions are still performed by non-employees, that question is answered by the fact that the Supreme Court has ruled time and again that it is management prerogative to determine the basis of the engagement of its workers, whether they be employees, regular employees, project employees, or independent contractors. This is regardless of the functions that are performed, regardless of whether those functions are necessary or desirable.
Yeah, I agree with you, attorney. Kaya nga sinasabi ko na nga sa inyo, ito na mismong fourfold test applying to you, these people. Ito po mga kasama natin nasa harap natin. Yung nga, ang example ko nga sa inyo na Nelson Nazareno case, production assistance po yun. At ito po idadagdag ko sa inyo, sa attorney, para lang, well, sa HR, no? I guess the attorney was not the lawyer for in this particular case. Alam niyo po ba na yung issue dito, mga simpleng bagay ng inyong mga empleyado? Pag kumain ng regular employee, unlimited rice. Pagka po non-regular employees, nagbabayad ng kanin. Tama po ba? Nagbabayad ng malilit na bagay. Pagka po yung ID nila, kaya ngayon naintindihan ko na rin po, iba ang kulay ng regular at hindi regular na empleyado. At yun po, may meal allowance. Kahit ang mga reporter, ibang regular at ibang hindi regular na empleyado. At ito po yung mga binabanggit ko na in this particular case, reporters have already won. Yung binanggit ko ngayon kay Weng Hidalgo. Yung production assistants, yung mga technical na mga tao, nanalo na ho sa 15th Division. Actually po, itong IGM, nanalo na po ito sa Dole. Na-reverse lang po ng Court of Appeals at nakapending sa Supreme Court. Pero ang sinasabi lang ng mga taong to ay empleyado nyo sila. Ang sinasabi lang ng mga nasarap ninyo at ng marami pa ninyong empleyado ay kilalanin nyo naman sila. Gawin nyo naman kami regular at bigyan nyo naman kami ng benepisyo na hindi naman kalakihan. Kung titingnan po natin, hindi kalakihan ang hinihingi ng inyong mga empleyado. At yun po, Mr. Chairman, ang tinatanong ko, 10 years ago, itong mga nakaupo sa harap nyo natanggal. 13 years nagtatrabaho, 15 years. Meron pa ho ba tayong ganyan na mga empleyado sa ABS-CBN? Because I will tell you now, marami din po akong mga kaibigan sa inyong korporasyon at syempre gusto rin nila ipagpatuloy at talagang wag magkaroon ng bigyan ng prangkisa ang ABS-CBN. Pero marami din po sa kanila ang may hinanakit dahil sa ganitong sitwasyon ng mga empleyado sa loob ng ABS-CBN.
Mr. Chairman.
Attorney.
Kung inyo pong mamarapatin, yun na nga ho yung problema sapagkat bagamat may mga kaso na desisyonan laban sa ABS-CBN, meron din naman po na mga kaso na pabor sa amin. Halimbawa po, nandoon yung isang kaso ni Halog, JALOG. Yung kaso to na ipanalo namin sa labor arbiter level, sa NLRC, sa Court of Appeals, at maging sa Korte Suprema po. No? And yung naiintindihan ko po kung saan nanggagaling ang ating mga kasama rito, pero base po dun sa totality of the facts and the supervening circumstances rule, hindi po namin matatanggap na kung ano yung nangyari dun sa kaso ng binanggit nyo si Nazareno halimbawa, automatic kailangan yun sundin dahil hindi ho ganon. No? Kung kaya't ang posisyon ng ABS-CBN is merong kaso na pabor sa amin, merong kaso na unfortunately laban po sa amin, bakit hindi po antayin na lang natin ang pinakapinal na desisyon at kung ano man ang desisyong ibababa ng kataas-taasang hukuman, tatanggapin po namin ng buong buo, Your Honor. Salamat po.
Yes, Jonalyn.
Your Honor, yung case po ni Halog, kasama namin siya. Nagkaroon lang ho siya ng chance na kaya hindi niya tinuloy yung kaso dahil nagkaroon siya ng opportunity na magkaroon ng trabaho sa ibang bansa. So hindi ko po namin alam kung ano yung reason kung bakit hindi na siya naging aktibo kasi may mga pagkakataon po kasing pag hindi mo winidraw yung case mo, hindi ka makakahanap ng ibang trabaho. May mga ganong threat ho na nangyari. During that time na kasagsagan ng mainit ang kaso. So, invalid po yung sinasabing nanalo sila sa case kasi hindi naman po talaga itinuloy. Bagkus, marami ang nagalit kay Halog, yung mga kasama niya dahil hindi man lang sila sinabihan na magwi-withdraw siya bilang siya ang nakapangalan doon. Yun lang po, Your Honor. For your information lang po.
Mr. Chair,
Thank you, Mr.
if I may react, please.
Joji.
Yes. That is entirely incorrect. In the Halog case, there are 4 complainants, Noel Halog, Reparado Galos, Ferdinand Olar, and Wilfredo Biohon. And they went to the Supreme Court. And the petition under Rule 45 was denied, and therefore they lost the case and ABS-CBN won. So it's incorrect to say that they did not raise the case to the Supreme Court because there is a resolution to that effect that they did, and they lost the case.
Attorney Joji and Attorney Sobreviñas, ang gusto ko lang po kasing i-correct natin yung mismong pulisiya. Hindi po ito individual na mga kaso. So again, I'd like to ask Mr. Nepomuceno, sabi niyo ang project employee niyo 2,208. Ang independent contractors niyo 2,158. Ang regular employees ninyo 6,705. Meron pa ba akong kulang?
That's complete, Your Honor. Kompleto na
That's
ho yun.
complete.
Yes.
So malamang-lamang po, itong 4,000 na to na project employees at independent contractors, ito malamang ang kapareho ng sitwasyon ng IGM, IJM, Independent Job Market, katama na rin po yung mga TS, Technical Specialist, at saka po yung ating creative group, Intellectual Property Creators. Ang ibig ko pong sabihin, marami kayong mga tao hanggang sa ngayon nagbigay ng buhay sa', gumagalaw pa rin sa ABS-CBN ang hindi nyo nire-regularize. Do you have that still?
Yes, Your Honor, may I respond?
Yes, please, Mr. Nepomuceno.
Thank you. Your Honor, again, we hired workers under different categories. As I said, the regular, the project, and the independent contractors. If I may just provide some facts, Your Honor. No? For our project employees or who are hired for programs or program employees, they form part of our work pool. So they work on our shows, our programs, which have beginnings and endings. But I would like to cite the benefits that we provide to this work pool, Your Honor. Before 2001, ABS-CBN provided already a rice subsidy, a cash gift, contingency funds for emergency loans, life insurance, a Christmas basket, and a stock option plan, Your Honor. But again, the structure of the work pool, following the theory of the regular seasonal worker, is the employee gains the status of a regular employee while he is on a project. Now, this number of benefits, Your Honor, if I may just cite, today, 2020, there are 22 benefit items that we provide the members of the work pool. Of these 22 benefit items, 14 are company-initiated benefits. The rest, of course, are statutory, which we comply with. And so 14, beyond what is required by law, we have been providing for this work pool. And on a continuing basis, we review the benefits and the benefits that we give this work pool, and we continue over time. So I would just like to point that out, Your Honor, that there are benefits there. In the case, last point, Your Honor, in the case of the independent contractors, because they are self-employed, as defined by the Civil Code, their benefits are based on the contracts that they negotiate. So many of our intellectual property creators have benefits that are negotiated into their contracts, Your Honor. Thank you, Your Honor. Yun lang po.
Tama po yun. Kung mga talents naman na malalaki sweldo, wala naman hong problema. Pero kung natatandaan niyo po si Beng Hidalgo, 16 years po sa inyo, yung po yung production creators nyo, ang tagal po yan eh. Kasama ho yan sa mga contractors. Yung inyong soundman, audioman, contractor. Cameraman nyo, contractor. So pag inisa-isa ko po itong 2,208 nyo na project employees at yung inyong independent contractors, malamang tatamaan ko rin yung production assistants, tatamaan ko yung mga cameraman, tatamaan ko yung mga audioman na araw-araw ginagamit ng ABS-CBN sa kanilang produkto. In the case of the fourfold test, as decided by the Supreme Court, ito rin yung mga trabahong kailangan ninyo o sangkap para mag-produce kayo ng produkto. Di ba ito rin po yung sa Universal Farms, di ba yung sa Robina, na naging desisyon na they are essential to the workload to produce the necessary products and therefore they should be considered as regular workers. Ngayon, yung mga binabanggit po ninyo na 6,000 o almost 40% of your employees are still non-regulars. At siguro, dahil ayaw nyo sabihin yung mga pangalan, eto, hindi ko to makilala, babanggitin ko po sa inyo. Si Brian Guarnes ng Graphics, 22 years na pong nagtatrabaho sa inyo, hindi pa rin regular. Si Melanie Binoy, hindi ko rin po kilala, 25 years na nagtatrabaho sa inyo, writer, hindi pa rin regular. Si Ricardo Galura, driver production assistant, matanda na po to, 26 na po years sa inyo nagtatrabaho, hindi pa rin regular. Lahat pong mga taong to ay kasama sa sangkap ng produktong inilalabas ng ABS-CBN at hanggang sa ngayon po, hindi nyo sila kinikilalang regular. Mr. Chair, yes ma'am.
Mr. Chair, can I please speak and explain?
Opo.
All work po is necessary and desirable. I'd like to explain the uniqueness of our industry. There is no program po kasi that stays on the air forever. Palagi pong may simula at may katapusan. Nagtatapos po yung programa because of audience engagement. Kung gusto po ng manonood ang programa, nagtatagal po. Kung hindi po desirable yung programa, medyo iniiksian po namin. So, nandun po nakakabit Kaya po may program employees because they are assigned specific programs. And these programs po do not last on the air forever. Kaya hindi po sila regular dahil po yung programa ay may simula at may katapusan. Ngayon po, yung talent na sinasabi, I have been in the industry for 37 years. I started as a production assistant po. Ang tawag po, it's an industry practice. They're called talents. Hindi kami artista, but we work behind the cameras and everybody knows this. When we moved to program employment, it was actually po taking care of our people. Kasi ngayon po, may mga kontrata na. Nung talent production assistant po ako, sa ibang network pa nung nag-umpisa ako, wala po kaming mga kontrata, wala po kaming benepisyo. Yung paggawa po ng program employment ng ABS-CBN ay binigyan po ng security of tenure, ng benefits, at saka ng stability yung mga nagtatrabaho behind the camera. But it's the uniqueness of the industry po that will not allow us to regularize everybody in ABS. Yun lang po.
Tama po yung binanggit nyo on a season, di ba? May isang TV show on one season. Pero hindi naman po huminto yung mga cameraman nyo eh. Hindi naman po huminto yung writer nyo. Hindi naman po huminto yung audioman nyo. Sa isang hotel, meron po tayong tinatawag by regular seasonal workers. Pagka panahon na summer, maraming mga pupunta sa isang restaurant. So, mag-hire ka ng mga trabahador doon. Pero ito naman mga tao ito, hindi naman huminto. Kaya nga po nung nagbuo sila ng sarili nilang union, ang gusto lang naman nila yung additional benefits na ibinibigay sa kanila. Ngayon, yung binabanggit nyo ngayon, intindihin ko yung industriya. Talaga pong inintindi ko, pinag-aralan ko. These people do not stop working. In fact, yung binanggit ko kanina, hindi sila covered ng 8 hours work a day. They go beyond 8 hours. They work even on weekends. So ang sinasabi ko nga po sa inyo, itong sitwasyon natin, yung binanggit ko mga pangalan ng mga tao, hindi ko kilala sila, ito po ang isang polisiya na ginagawa sa loob. I understand Mr. Carlo Katigbak is implementing some reforms inside. From what I've heard, hindi ko alam kung official yon, but this is a policy that is consistent within ABS-CBN. Ito pong setup ng ganito na merong kang, I would think, 4,000 employees sa ngayon. Hindi ko alam kasi, I cannot classify the employees, but this is a consistent policy of ABS-CBN Corporation na hindi nyo ginagawang regular ang mga tao na matagal nang nanilibihan, matagal na nagtatrabaho at esensyal sa mga ginagawang programa ng ABS-CBN.
Your Honor, as I said earlier, it's industry practice po, and it's because of the uniqueness of our industry.
So,
Ma'am
Vidanes, would you agree with me?
Your Honor,
yes.
When we made them program employees, it actually made sure, di ba, that they're protected because they have contracts specific to the programs that they're assigned to that give them benefits and security of tenure. So po, may benepisyo, inaalagaan, may kontrata, at pag nagpalit po yung programa, panibagong kontrata po yun.
Okay, ma'am. Ito, ma'am, nangyari noong 2010, were you already there in the management? Ito pong IJM Union, were you already with the management?
Yes po, I was in channel head po.
Opo.
Channel head po.
Eh kasi ma'am, sabi niyo, pinoprotektahan yung mga manggagawa, eh sila nung nag-organize, tinanggal.
I think po, correct me if I'm wrong, they were being asked to sign the program employee contracts.
No.
Attorney Maxim, did you want to?
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, ma'am.
If I may, sir.
Mr.
Mr. Chairman, I think we need to clarify or disclose certain facts to give context to what happened. As was explained in the opening statement, ABS-CBN implemented the work pool system or established the work pool and the engagement of program employments in the year 2001. Prior to 2001, the industry practice, as was stated also, was to engage all workers who are involved in television program production as independent contractors. In fact, that practice exists until today in other companies. That is the practice, Mr. Chairman. So in 2001, when ABS-CBN implemented the work pool and program engagement, it offered program employment rather than independent contractor status to the workers. So this program employment was offered to the workers who were involved in program production. At that time, approximately 80% of the workers agreed to the program employment offered by ABS-CBN. The workers who declined, approximately 20%, Mr. Chairman, then filed cases for regularization. So therefore, they declined the program employment that was offered by ABS-CBN, and then thereafter filed a case for regularization. This is the case that is now pending before the Supreme Court, Mr. Chairman. In those cases, Mr. Chairman, ABS-CBN won some cases at some levels. For example, let's take the case of Mr. Payonan, for example. ABS-CBN won before the labor arbiter. ABS-CBN won before the National Labor Relations Commission when the case was appealed there. And then when it was appealed to the Court of Appeals, the Court of Appeals reversed the decision. And then ABS-CBN filed a petition which is now pending before the Supreme Court. In view of the mixed or the different opinions rendered by the various bodies, it is but proper for the Supreme Court as the highest court to finally decide on what is right or what law should apply based on the facts of this case. So, Mr. Chairman, in 2010, it's not true that the workers were suddenly fired or let go. In fact, Mr. Chairman, despite the fact that in 2001, these workers declined the program employment that was offered to them, ABS-CBN continued to engage their services. However, because they declined the program employment, they were engaged or they were continued to be engaged as independent contractors. Again, as was the practice in the industry then and is the practice until today. So, ABS continued to engage them as independent contractors continuously after 2001. Come 2010, Mr. Chairman, the competition in the television industry intensified. This was because of the re-emergence of a competitor that was financed by a well-earning company. So, due to that intensified competition, there was pirating of workers from other networks. Because of this, Mr. Chairman, ABS-CBN decided to protect itself and therefore secure the commitment of its workers to ABS-CBN. And this was done by requiring the execution of written contracts for those who wish to continue to be engaged with ABS-CBN for program production. So come 2010, Mr. Chairman, some workers agreed and signed program employment contracts with ABS-CBN. However, others declined, and therefore because they declined, they were no longer engaged by ABS-CBN. So, Mr. Chairman, it's not true that suddenly in 2010, ABS-CBN just let them go. In 2001, all of them were offered program employment contracts. However, they declined those contracts. From 2001 up to 2010, 9 years passed where all these workers could have accepted program employment contracts offered by ABS-CBN. But they chose not to do so. So therefore, Mr. Chairman, because of the situation in 2010, where ABS-CBN had to protect itself in view of the intensified competition, it required its workers to execute the necessary contracts so as to protect the rights of both ABS-CBN and those workers.
Maraming salamat, ABS-CBN. Ngayon po sa pagkakataong ito ay meron lang pong ilang pahayag ang isa sa mga dating trabahante ng ABS-CBN na si Jobert Sucaldito. Pakinggan po natin siya.
Good evening po everybody. Good evening po sa members of the House of Congress at saka sa ating mga Pilipining panauhin from ABS-CBN. I would just like to tell my story quick lang, very quick lang. Sometime late of December of 2019, I've worked with ABS, with DZMM specifically, more or less mga 17 years as anchor of Showbuzz. It is an entertainment show in the evening, Mondays through Fridays, dyan sa DZMM Teleradyo. Late of December last year, 2019, ay pumutok kasi yung balita that si Nadine Lustre at saka si James Reid ay naghiwalay. Okay? So since medyo matagal bago nagkaroon ng ganung ingay sa magka-love team, syempre we carried that story in my program. So we talked about it kasi syempre si James kasi left Viva na, si Nadine naiwan sa Viva. So para bang maraming issues, no? At saka alam namin nagsasama na yung dalawa, tapos finally daw ay hiniwalayan na siya ni James Reid. So kami naman, sige lang, we just carried that story until December 30 nang may lumabas na headline sa Bulgar newspaper kung saan sinabi ni Nadine na magpapakamatay siya pag iniwan siya ni James Reid. So kinagabihan of December 30, I discussed that in our program. In fact, pinangaralan ko si Nadine because I like that girl. Ang sabi ko sa kanya, that's not the way to handle a heartbreak. Sabi ko, hindi mo kailangang magpakamatay. Unang-una, you're a beautiful girl, may pangalan ka, at saka it's against the law of God and the law of the land. So, gano'n. Pinangaralan ko lang kasi I like her. At saka, natural, kasama sa trabaho namin yan. So, ngayon, days pass, at marami nang lumabas, para bang lumalabas na gumagawa lang talaga ng ingay si Nadine. Yun ang interpretasyon ng ibang writers. So, natapos ang New Year, January 6, Monday, ay nagradyo ako. Pero weekend before that, Saturday, Sunday, naglabas ng tweet si Miss Nadine Lustre against our colleague Ricky Lo. Si Ricky Lo kasi is a revered journalist, Siya pong editor ng Philippine Star. So, ginagalang namin yan. So, para bang hindi ko nagustuhan ang tabas ng dila ni Nadine doon because parang nababastos. Ano mo yan? Parang masyadong marahas ang dira niya kay Mr. Ricky Lo. So, ang ginawa ko, pinangaralan ko siya ulit sa program. Sabi ko, that's not the way also to handle these kinds of issues. Dapat doon you should have reached out to Ricky Lo and air your side of the story. Hindi yung ilambas mo siya ng ganun-ganun because senior kami Kumbaga sabi ko, if you do this to Ricky Lo, you could do this to everyone. So ngayon, may mga pictorials kasi siya earlier, mga days earlier, na may mga pictorials siya doon sa may building na naka-bikini, tapos may mga hugot lines kay James Reid. Nag-play ako with words. Ang sabi ko, kung gusto mo lang naman palang pag-usapan, di sana tumalong ka na lang sa building. That was stressing a point, but I'm not saying na magpakamatay ka. Okay. 2 days after, I received a call from my station manager, si Miss Mara Capuyan sa DZMM. At ang sabi niya sa akin, tumawag doon sa kanya si Miss Jing Reyes, ang aming head sa Integrated News and Current Affairs Department ng ABS, who was abroad then, na galit na because tinag daw siya ng mga fans na I was promoting suicide, which is not true. Okay, pagpalagay natin na medyo mali ang pagkasabi ko. I have to admit na sabi ko, okay, I also felt sorry for that. Sinabi nila, inutusan nila ako to apologize. Okay? To apologize to Nadine Lustre at i-carry nila sa 4 o'clock na news ng DZMM Teleradyo. That day, that was January 8. Ako naman, I willingly issued a public apology at yun nga, in-air nga ng DZMM at other news programs. The day after, tinawagan na ulit ako ng aking station manager na burahin ko yung post ko sa Facebook na pinangangaralan ko si Miss Nadine na huwag siyang ganun kay Ricky Lo. Kumbaga, yung ganun tipo, it has nothing to do with DZMM. Pinatawag niya ako ng meeting ng January 10 Friday the next day at 2 p.m. Kasi yung sabi lang sa akin, pinagawa ko ng public apology to appease daw the fans. Kasi alam mo naman sila takot sa mga fans eh. So, Friday came, pumunta ako sa office, nagkwentuhan kami ni Ms. Mara Kapuyan, and after that, she handed me a letter, this letter, for me to sign. Sabi ko, ano po yan? It's a indefinite suspension letter with no pay. Sabi ko, talaga? So parang pinapunta mo ako rito para to sign this? Tapos ang ginawa, tinignan ko, may nakita ako rito kasing isang line na parang hindi ko maintindihan kasi parang threatening na sa aking work because I've worked for you for 17 years tapos may ganitong eksena. Sabi ko, ano ito? That suspension daw of my contract with ABS. So sabi ko, so ang ginawa ko, no, I'm not signing this. I will consult my lawyers. That's why, naghintay ako ng mga 2 months at kasama ko ang aking legal counsel, si Atty. Ferdinand Topacio, na pumunta sa DOLE to file a formal complaint sa DOLE because it's work-related. Kasi syempre, I don't understand. You didn't even give me warnings for this particular offense na sinasabi ninyo. Puro lang ethics committee ang sinasangkalan nyo sa akin. Kaya nalulungkot ako. Kasi sabi ko, syempre I feared also for my work. Kasi syempre, alam mo yon, you send children to school, you feed people, you are the breadwinner, tapos you lose a job, indefinite suspension. Kaya sabi ko, I felt so sad. It's really a painful journey on my part. Kasi katulad din ng ibang makasama natin sa ABS-CBN. Pero sabi ko, nalulungkot ako lalo every time I would hear Sir Carlo Katigbak saying that they are concerned about the people who will lose jobs. Kasi kawawa naman doon sila, walang makain. But how about us? Diba? Paano kami? Naisip nyo rin ba kami? Diba? Napaka-harsh ng inyong desisyon. Napaka-cruel ninyo. Sabi ko nga, nalulungkot ako because this is a sign of parang kapamilya tayo, but you are so heartless. Hindi nyo lang ako binigyan ng pagkakataon na etong letter, you want me to explain? Hindi pwede kasi andito na nakasaad that you're suspending my contract. You all have the right. Kaya yun ang sabi ko. Sabi ko nga, I may not go back to you anymore, but I will fight for this also kasi hindi rin siguro biro that I've worked for you for more than 17 years. Tapos gaganituhin nyo lang din ako at ganun na, isa iglap. Diba? Kapag hindi nyo kaalyado, diba? Parang kapag hindi kaalyado, you're out. Ganun kayo sa loob eh. Kaya nalulungkot ako. But sabi ko nga, I am for the no to shut down. But yung mga tao sana sa loob who really throw the weights around, I hope you also learn your lesson. Yun lang po. I just wanted to make it quick kasi alam ko wala na kayong oras. Salamat sa pagbibigay sa akin ng pagkakataon para masabi kong aking kwento. Pero di ba, 17 years is not a joke also for me. Tapos all of a sudden, I lose a job. Indefinite suspension, pero wala namang balita eh. That's tantamount to termination of my contract. Malinaw naman yun eh. Mga palusot lang yan eh. Nakakalungkot. I hope you walk your talk. Yung making use of the 11,000 plus employees as human shields. Pero ang totoo niyan, hindi naman totoo talagang puso kayo eh. It's just dramatizing everything. Kaya, nalulungkot ako. Maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat at napakinggan nyo rin ang site ko.
Maraming salamat po, Mr. Jobert. At ngayon po, ibinabalik ko na kay Vice Chairman Mike Defensor para sa kanyang natitirang pagtatanong.
Chairman, maraming po salamat. Mabilis na lang po na pagtatanong. Mr. Bayo, Mr. Mendoza, yung binabanggit ni Attorney of ABS-CBN, ba't hindi kayo pumirma ng Program of Employment? Sige po.
Your Honor, sa akin personally, wala akong nakarating na alok sa akin. Tapos, isa kung bakit po ako nag-file ng case noong 2002. Dahil alam naman natin na ayon sa batas natin, after 6 months, dapat regular employee ka. Sa totoo lang yung ginawa ko na yung pag-file ng kaso, isinugal ko yung buhay ng pamilya ko. Kasi po, alam ko mawawalan ako ng trabaho. And the same time, dahil nangarap akong magkaroon ng sariling bahay para sa pamilya ko. Isa lang ang makakapagbigay sa iyo ng bahay at lupa para sa pamilya mo, bilang maging regular na empleyado ng kumpanya. Kahit sa ang developer, hihingan ka ng Certificate of Employment na ang sinasabi ay regular na empleyado ka. Subukan mo magpasa ng mga program employee na papel or kung ano man dokumento na hindi nagsasaad na ikaw ay regular na empleyado. Kahit na kaya mo magbayad, automatic madi-deny ka. So isa rin ho yan, no, para sa kapakanan ng mga manggagawa. Ako nalulungkot ako kasi for 18 years, hanggang ngayon nangungupahan ako na kung saan, kung tutuusin ay kaya kong mag-provide ng sariling bahay at lupa sa pamilya ko. Pero dahil sa dokumento na kailangan regular employee ka, isinugal ko na po. Maaring ito na ho yung huling baraha ko dahil unang-una, malinaw ho na ang batas ni, may balik ko lang, batas ni Marcos, na after 6 months ay regular employee ka, may 13-month ka, ika nga yan lang ho ang kinikilala na saligang batas ng labor natin. So habang ako ay nag-aaral, pinagbuti ko yung aking pag-aaral hanggang sa makapagtrabaho ko dahil ang laging sinasabi ng aking mga magulang, nak, mag-aral kang mabuti, pag nakahanap ka ng trabaho, magiging regular ka, ang ipoprovide mo sa pamilya mo ay galing din dyan sa trabaho mo. So yun ho ang pinangahawakan ko ho sa panahon nung lumaban ako. Pero yung pag-alok ng kontrata, sa totoo lang po, wala hong nakarating.
Walang nakarating sa'yo?
Dahil nag-file ako ng case.
Walang nakarating?
Wala po.
At walang mapapakita ang ABS-CBN na nag-receive ka ng kontrata?
Wala po.
Okay. Mr. Mendoza, Christopher?
Sa akin, ganun din po. Wala akong natanggap na kontrata, walang in-offer sa akin. O siguro yung huling araw namin noong June 2010, baka kaya lang hindi nga po ako pumasok na rin sa kwarto nung yung tanggalan days na. Hindi na ako pumasok baka yun doon. Pero wala po ako na-receive before. Meron pong pinapipirmahan sa akin sila Miss Lani Fernandez, sila Raul Bulaong. Pagka pinakit ako doon, Papa Sam, pirma mo na yan. Sabi pa sa akin ni Lani Fernandez, pwede ka rin sa union, pwede ka rin maging officer dyan sa union. Tanggapin mo na yan. I-waive mo na yung kaso mo. Ayun po ang in-offer sa akin.
Yes. Yung kukunin nyo, magre-regular kayo, bababa ulit kayo, di ba? Babalik back to zero kayo.
Opo.
Simula kayo ulit, tapos i-waive nyo na. Ibig sabihin, hindi nyo na ilalaban yung kaso.
Pina-waive po. Kaya po
ngayon,
hindi ko pinirmahan.
Sa tanong ko sa inyong dalawa, kilala nyo naman yung mga taga-ABS-CBN hanggang sa ngayon. Marami po bang ganyan pa rin na sitwasyon katulad ninyo?
Marami pa po.
Christopher, Journaline.
Your Honor, sa pagkakalam ko may mga nagme-message sa akin na minsan maiisip nating hindi gumagamit ng tunay na pangalan pero alam natin nasa loob sila ng kumpanya na pumapabor sa hakbang namin. Kaya lang wala silang lakas loob na lumantad kasi alam naman natin may mga kaso na katulad ng mga talent singers nila na kapag pinag-usapan ng kaso, nape-personal kaagad sila, nawawalan ng trabaho, nawawalan ng racket. Pero ganun pa man ho, based on their documents, naayon na rin po sa Department of Labor, makikita naman ho talaga na hindi lahat regular na empleyado. Kasi yun lang po, in my part, sa aking pananaw, ang ikagaganda ng buhay ng isang empleyado, yun nga ho ang nung pinadala ako ng Mindanao, kasama ko is regular cameraman pero enjoying good benefits, security of tenure, pati yung pamilya nila secured na. While ako na parehas kami ng tinatrabaho, parehas kami ng gamit na ginagamit, kaiba ho ng benepisyo o nung panahon pa nga na yun hindi tama, hindi sapat, walang night differential, walang cancel day off, kasi alam naman natin ang trabaho sa amin iba-iba. Minsan nasa remote kami, pag walang trabaho sa remote, nasa studio kami. So lahat ho yan naiikot namin. Hanggang studio, hanggang taping, kahit saan po kami pinadadala, go lang po kami.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, sa akin po pagtatapos, nung ito po yung unang mag-hearing sa Senado, narinig ko yung mga sinabi at nakita ko yung mga statements. Para bang walang problema at napakaganda ng sitwasyon. At nung makita ko yung opisyal na ibinigay na sulat ng Department of Labor, particularly Secretary Bello, nakita ko doon yung mga itong kaso ng IGM 2010. 1,001 employees. Hindi ko alam ang ilang natanggal. 90 ho ang pagkakalam ko, pero ang palagay ko po, karamihan doon natanggal din. Yes.
Natanggal din po.
Natanggal din yung 1,001.
103 po kami lahat eh. 103. Total na lang po namin ngayon is 58 po.
Okay. So, Mr. Chairman, marami sa mga empleyado ng ABS-CBN ang pareho ng sitwasyon ng dalawang nakaharap sa inyo. Pareho ng sitwasyon nung nakita nyo sa video kanina. Pero marami sa kanila ngayon ang natatakot na. Kasi nga, ang ginawa nilang pakikipagsapalaran na lumaban sila, talaga natanggal sila. At maghihintay sila ng taon hanggang sa Korte Suprema para matapos yung kanilang sitwasyon. Yung mga natapos na kaso, nagkakaroon na lang ng ayusan. Bayaran na lang sila, kung hindi naman, bayaran na kaunti, ibabalik. Pero ang punto ko dito, Mr. Chairman, ang sitwasyon po nila o yung ganitong kondisyon ay isang pulisiya sa loob ng ABS-CBN. Again, Mr. Chairman, this is an ongoing setup. The IGM, the TS, the creators, is a setup that has been in the ABS-CBN. It may be an industry practice, but I don't think it's a reason for this situation to continue. Mr. Chairman, alam niyo naman po ang aking salita dito may mga problema tayo sa mga problemang pangkonstitusyon at hindi pangkonstitusyon. For the record, Mr. Chairman, para sa akin, sa mga issues na hindi konstitusyonal, ito ang pinakamabigat. Dahil nga, kaya nga tayo nandito at gusto nating itulak talaga yung mga manggagawa, maiayos. Pero sa kabilang banda naman, marami pa rin manggagawa sa loob ng ABS-CBN ang ganito ang kanilang sitwasyon. So, Mr. Chairman, I hope whatever will be the final decision and verdict of this committee, one of the things that we should undertake is the reform of the labor policy and the labor arrangement within ABS-CBN. Ayaw ko na wag na po sana tayong makadinig ng Mr. Bayong, Mr. Mendoza, 13-15 years nagtrabaho, binigay ang buhay nila sarili para sa isang kumpanya, para sa ABS-CBN, para tanggalin lamang. Dahil ang gusto lang laman nila, magkaroon ng magandang kinabukasan ang kanilang mga anak, at magkaroon sila ng maipamamana katulad ng bahay at lupa na kanilang pangarap. Maraming salamat, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Congressman Defensor. At puputulin po muna natin yung hearing natin ngayong gabi sapagkat pinakiusapan po ako ng ating mga members ng committee na kung maaari ay hanggang alas 9 lang. Medyo sumobra na po tayo sa alas 9 ngayon. At bukas po magsisimula tayo 1:00 ng tanghali sa issue pa rin ng labor patungkol sa ABS-CBN franchise. At pagkatapos po nito, susubukan nating pag-usapan yung issue naman tungkol po sa taxes ng ABS-CBN.
Mr. Chair,
yes,
you can give me
Deputy
a short
Speaker Marcoleta.
Parliamentary inquiry.
Yes,
before
Deputy
we
Speaker.
wind up. Mr. Chair, I recall that during our hearing on the subject of reacquisition of ABS-CBN, I recall that the Joint Committee asked ABS-CBN to submit certain documents, one of which are the torrents titles, certified true copies of the torrents titles. May I know, Mr. Chair, if there has been submissions of the certified true copies of the torrents titles?
Comsec, nakapagpasa po ba ng kompletong dokumento ang ABS-CBN?
They have submitted copies of titles, but we need to check if those are certified true copies.
I'm referring to certified electronic copies, Mr. Chair, because ang binigay sa atin nung una, basically are Xerox copies. Mr. Chair, I'm asking
Deputy
this
Speaker
because...
Marcoleta, nakapagpasa na daw po ng panibagong mga torrents titles ang ABS-CBN, ngunit sinisigurado pa ng committee secretary kung ito ba talaga ay certified.
Mr. Chair, ganito po dahil sa kagustuhan kong makakita man lang kahit isa, ang ginawa ko po ay kumuha ko ng certified electronic copy sa opisina po ng Register of Deeds ng Quezon City ngayong umaga, Mr. Chair. Nagtaka po ako bakit ang naibigay po sa akin ay owner's duplicate certificate. Ang inaasahan ko po kasi, Mr. Chair, ang makukuha ko ay isang original copy which is written on the left side of the title itself. Hindi po ganun ang nangyari. Ang ibig po sabihin nito, yung titulong ipinadala sa atin, yung 125702, does not appear in the registry file of the Register of Deeds. It is not extant, meaning to say it's not there. Kasi po kung yun ay nandun, ang nakuha ko po sana is an original copy. Hindi po owner's duplicate copy na kagaya po ng nakuha at binigay na sa atin. Pangalawa po, Mr. Chair, meron pong nakalagay ritong parang provisional registration 9690. Ang nakakapagtaka po rito, Mr. Chair, if we are guided by the date of this title, which was submitted to us before by ABS-CBN, ito po ay dated December 26, 1967. Kung talaga pong ito ay for reconstitution, Mr. Chair, bakit hindi po naka-annotate yung facts of a pending reconstitution, kung talagang totoo, dapat naka-annotate dito sa pahina ng titulo. Wala po yun, Mr. Chair. At the very least, kung makikita po natin na pending reconstitution ng title, nakalagay po yung, let's say, yung court number, yung file number, and other facts associated with this. Wala po. Pangatlo, Mr. Chair, ito pong pinagmulan na titulo na binigay sa atin ng ABS-CBN, yung Xerox copy, ang nakalagay po ay TCT number 110731. Kumuha po ako ng certified true copy rin ito. Nagtaka po ako, itong pinagmulan na titulo na 125702 ay nasa ibang lugar at ang nakapagtataka po, 42 square meters lang. Hindi 44,000 plus square meters. Bakit po ganito, Mr. Chair?
Deputy Speaker Marcoleta, ipapa-double check po natin sa Committee Secretariat lahat ng dokumento at isang palaisipan nga po talaga kung bakit may pagkakaiba at we will also give ABS-CBN ng pagkakataon para maipakita pong tama po yung kanilang mga titulo na isinumite. Deputy Speaker Marcoleta. Yes, Vice Chairman Defensor.
Mr. Chairman, in the next hearing, kung pwede pong matanong yung ating sa ABS-CBN, yun lang pong royalties that are given to talents, including writers, including whoever are involved in a production. Kasi di ba ho, pagka may mga reruns, hindi na po nagbibigay ng royalties. So if that can be discussed, Mr. Chairman, the Committee on Legislative Franchises would like to hear the response of ABS-CBN. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
ABS-CBN?
Yes po.
Maraming salamat po. And with that, hearing suspended.
Hearing suspended.